From Tad Gormley Stadium in New Orleans, Crescent City Sports is proud to bring you Louisiana high school football. Tonight, it's a District 9 5A game. The District 9 5A season begins with the renewal of a great rivalry as the Brother Martin Crusaders take on the Jesuit Blue Jays. Hello, everybody. I'm Ken Berthelot, along with Wade Kaiser and Chip and Matt Merritt, producing and shooting this one for you tonight. And Wade, whenever you get two teams like this, it doesn't matter what the records are, but tonight it does, because the records are so doggone good. Both of these teams 3-0 in non-district play, so they come in undefeated. Tonight's going to give somebody a good start, and somebody's going to be pretty upset because they're going to have a game they're going to have to make up in about 3 hours from now.
Well, the greatest thing about the Catholic League in District 9 5A is it means something to everybody. Yes. In this day and time in high school football in the state of Louisiana, where everybody's just fighting for wild card points and we've got the separation between select and non-select, everybody's just looking to get onto that bracket where they're looking to make sure that they get as much wins as possible. They're not worried anymore. The district championship to some people doesn't mean anything. Well, let me tell you something. In this district,
yes,
the Catholic League in District 9 5A, even though it from top to bottom you have a mixture of Catholic teams, Christian teams, and a couple of public high school teams in it, it means something because it's important. 9 5A is a district championship for them.
Well, both teams have similar offensive numbers. The Blue Jays have scored 107 points in victories over Dallas Jesuit, E.D. White, and Bonneville. The Crusaders have rung up 104 points in defeating East Ascension, St. Paul's, and New Hope from Mississippi, all on the road. So the interesting thing is when you look back at the way this game plays out, the last 4 regular season meetings, they've only scored 64 total points. So both of these offenses have been explosive. Can the defenses step up and make a difference tonight?
Well, they've been scoring the points that they needed to have been scoring. They're electrifying offenses, especially when you look at the receiving core of both teams. And I'm sure we'll cover this in great detail tonight with guys like Loman Laurie and from Jesuit, and you have Easton Royal from Brother Martin, which are two of the best wide receivers in the not only the city but in the state of Louisiana. These guys can flat out run routes, catch the football, go the length of the field when they catch it because they have great speed. Question is, will the ball be able to get to them tonight? And the amount of points that have been scored by these offenses so far this year has been right on spot with where they are trying to be. The secret now tonight is who's going to play really great defense. Jesuit comes in with giving up only 9 points defensively. Brother Martin comes in giving up 25 points defensively. So when it gets right down to it tonight, I think it's going to be a battle of two really good defensive teams, and it's all going to start up front, Ken. It's going to start with the offensive line, defensive lines matching against each other. It's the guys in the trenches tonight that are going to win this football game for either the Crusaders or the Blue Jays.
Well, wherever you are watching, anywhere around the world on CrescentCitySports.com, we are glad you are with us. This is Louisiana high school football. And believe me, high school football in Louisiana per capita has more players in the National Football League than any other state in the union. And that says a lot about the quality of the game here. Wade Kaiser, you just
taught me something. I did not know that.
Yeah, you were. And you know what? I should have looked up the numbers that are current, and I did not bring those in today. And that's been a long-standing stat here, and says a lot. You've been a coach, a head coach at Jesuit. You've been an assistant coach at a number of schools. You know the quality of high school coaching that develops players that play in the National Football League.
Well, number one, you've got great kids to work with in the state of Louisiana that love the game of football. But number two is you've got coaches that are dedicated to this profession that want to be able to do a great job with their kids coaching this great game. And there's, you hear about all the other states in the United States, California, Florida, Texas. Look, Louisiana, coaching-wise, player-wise, can match up with all of them.
Well, as we get set for the national anthem and a prayer, we're also going to pay some respects to a brother Ivy LeBlanc of Brother Martin. We'll do that in just a little while. Let's do that right now because they're giving him credit on the public address system. Brother Ivy LeBlanc passed away. Brother Morton announced today the passing of Brother Ivy LeBlanc. Since 1967, Brother Ivy served in numerous roles at educational institutions of the Brothers of the Sacred Heart. On Brother Morton, he served as a teacher, dean of students, vice principal, principal, and president. On behalf of the Crescent City sports team, our thoughts and prayers are with Brother Morton, their entire community, and the Brothers of the Sacred Heart.
Almighty and eternal God, as we gather tonight to compete, bless us with the grace to know and to carry out your most holy will. Keep these young men on the field safe from injury, teaching them perseverance, teamwork, and respect for their opponents. Keep the rest of us focused on the good of the young men in a spirit of gratitude for your many graces. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
And please remain standing.
And now we will have our national anthem. Colors
High School, Marine Corps,
will be presented by the Jesuit High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC.
First Sergeant Gabe LeBlanc, followed by the playing of the national anthem.
And then we'll have the playing of our national anthem by the Jesuit Blue Jay High School, the Jesuit High School Blue Jay Marching Band. Good crowd on hand. People continue to come into Tad Gormley Stadium in beautiful City Park, New Orleans. And if you were not able to make it, we are happy you are with us on Crescent City Sports anywhere around the world tonight. Thank you for tuning in and being with us for this exciting high school football game that we're about to watch. So from City Park Stadium, Tad Gormley in New Orleans. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem by the Jesuit High School Marching Band. From Tad Gormley Stadium in City Park, New Orleans, our national anthem by the Jesuit High School Marching Band. We're getting set for football, and the captain should be coming out to the middle of the field in just a moment for the toss of the coin. Wade Kaiser, when you were an assistant and a head coach, what was it like right now? You want to play, you want to get going, you're standing on the sideline. What's going through your mind? What are you telling your players? What are you looking at and looking for as a coach?
I was thinking about dinner after the game. No, in all true
I knew that was going to be the answer.
Well, no, I'm serious. I mean, one of the things is you got to feed your guys after the game, and then you got to feed your staff after the game. And I was always wondering exactly what we were going to be eating. But anyway, no, I in all essence, what you're trying to do is you're just trying to make sure you're going through the pre-checklist in your mind on everything that you've done all week and making sure that you've dotted your I's and crossed your T's, and then, oh my goodness, did I tell the guys how to call the snap? No, the toss, right? No, I'm serious.
Yeah, that's it.
The serious. One time they walk out to do the toss, and I couldn't remember whether I told them we want to defer, we want to receive. I couldn't remember, but apparently I did. So what's going through your mind? You dot your I's, crossing your T's. Those are the things that you're trying to go down a quick checklist to see if you
did. And by the way, as you look on your screen, you see the official in the black hat, not the white hat on the right side, in the black hat. The guy all the way behind him in the gold shirt with the white hair is Ron Bricata. Ron Bricata just retired with the shutting down of the Clarion Herald newspaper, the Archdiocese of New Orleans newspaper as we know it. And he's in his 80s. He has probably more wisdom from a sports writing standpoint than anybody we know. And Brother Martin has him working now as a sports information director, PR guy. And he works for just the sporting events, having some fun in, I don't want to say his old age because we don't want to be getting up there too, but in his latter years, showing that there's wisdom that accompanies age. Or at least there should be.
Look, Ron Bricata covered me when I played, right?
Yeah, well, that's true.
So,
there you go.
So there you go. You know, I believe Ron Bricata is 84 years old.
And that's what he is.
And, you know, we were talking just down on the field a little while ago, Ron and I were, and we were talking about all the great sports writers are, you know, going to that great paper in the sky, right? This past week, Bill Baumgartner's funeral, which was a great prep writer, Saints writer, all sports writer for the Times-Picayune State's Item for a number of years and everything. But Ron Bricata is one of those guys that, you know, has been reporting on games right here in this stadium.
Oh, folks, we got to tell you this before we kick off. Last week at the Belle Chase South Plaquemine game that Wade and I did, we saw an absolute first. The overturn
of an overturn.
Yeah. And let's credit the officials. They tried to get it right. They did not have replay cameras. We had the only replay that they could see. They did not have one down there. They overturned the call and actually got it right with the overturn. Our replay monitor showed that. And then they got together, huddled later on, and overturned that. And we had never seen the overturn of an overturn, but there's a first for everything, and we saw it last week.
Well, yeah, there's a first, right?
Brother Martin will get the ball first in this game, so we'll get a chance to see Easton Royal. Everybody's been waiting to see him. If you haven't seen him already, he's one of the top players in the country. Oh, folks, they just absolutely love him. We'd tell you who's recruiting him, but we'd have to rattle off all 315 Division I college football programs and then go into the FCS, then go into the Division II and Division III. And even IMG Academy out of Florida recruited him, and they tried to get him over there.
Well, IMG out of Academy recruits everybody in the nation, so, I mean.
That's not a big story, right?
Correct.
So we'll see a pooch kick right off the bat, and it'll go out of bounds.
Brother Martin will start with great field position at the 35-yard line. Also, if you're looking at our screen tonight.
And one of the reasons you saw that pooch kick is because right there, number 3, they did not want to put the ball in his hands and let him do something crazy with it. Wade, you were saying.
As you look at your screen tonight, you're going to see a few officials less. There's only a 5-man crew tonight with the New Orleans Association. There's so many games in the city right now, so few officials, that they can't cover all the games around the area with 6- and 7-man crews, right? So some schools are going to have to play with 5 officials in tow. So tonight, 5-man crew. Positive, negative, I'm sure the night will play out and we will know those things, right? But the difference is with a 5-man crew is the mechanics are different. The rotations are different on the field. And those guys had to study all week how to recall 5-man mechanics. That's a problem for an official, which I'm sure they're going to do a great job tonight.
Well, with the out-of-bounds kick, Brother Martin with good field position to get started at the 40-yard line, and right away we're going to see Hudson Fields. Hudson's going to throw the ball right off the bat. He's got a man, and it's Easton Royal. Royal's got it, and Royal scores 60-yard touchdown pass on the opening play of the game from Hudson Fields, the quarterback, to Easton Royal, who got past everybody, and that makes it look pretty doggone easy.
Well, there you go, folks, right off the bat, play action pass. Easton Royal runs a beautiful post route, just hits it right in the middle of the seam, right between the safeties. The ball is on target by Hudson Fields, and Brother Martin jumps up on top 6-0 with the PAT pending. But you see the speed, you see the electric ability of Easton Royal. And now you know why people all over this country are looking at this 4.2940 100-meter 10-3 receiver.
Brody DeMonche to hold. Caden Flanagan will attempt the point after. And he kicks it up, and it is good. So one play in 9 seconds. One play, 9 seconds, 60-yard touchdown pass. Hudson Fields to Easton Royal. You wanted to see him go? Well, you got a chance to see it right off the bat.
Well, you know, the speed of Easton Royal tonight is going to be on notice, you know, to that Jesuit secondary. Those guys are going to have to be able to keep them in check, right? They're going to have to be able to keep his deep routes. They got to stay on top of him, and then when they feed him the ball low, they're going to have to rally to him and make tackles and not let him have those yards after catch, right? And this becomes a problem. Take a look at our replay here again. You can see him. He lined up at the slot position. He runs the post route from the slot position, the wide side of the field, right through the middle of the safeties right there, and the ball's delivered on point. So this is a huge challenge for the guys tonight in the blue jerseys to keep him in check.
Well, he broke a tackle, too, so just a little bit of fancy running by Easton Royal, and just shows how good he is. That's his 10th touchdown, and we're only in game 4 of the season. By the way, that's his 10th receiving touchdown. He's thrown for 1 and rushed for 2 more. This one taken at the 9-yard line. And there's a seam coming back out to the 35-yard line. And that's a nice return by Jair Burks.
Well, Jair Burks has a little speed of his own. He is the reigning state 100, 200-meter hurdle champion in the state of Louisiana for 5A. He can flat go, so they're going to want to get the ball in his hands tonight out in space to be able to create, you know, a lot of things electricity-wise and speed to happen with him. So, again, he's going to present a problem to try to take the top off the coverage, but they also have another nice group of receivers, which we will be talking about as the night goes on.
From the Blue Jay 35, 1st and 10, and let's see who is quarterbacking the Jesuit Blue Jays. And it is Sully Sullivan back there at quarterback. Now, you may have been expecting on that little run to the right side by Michael Cerruti for a few. You may have been expecting Taylor Norton. Taylor was banged up in the E.D. White game a few weeks ago, did not play last week, and we were expecting him to be back.
Well, he was a game time decision, right? So they decided to go with the sophomore, Sully Sullivan. You got to remember, this guy was taking JV snaps last year, but he has a lot of potential.
And just to break him into it and give him some opportunity, he'll just hand it off. They'll run straight ahead. They get it to the 40-yard line. And a nice run by Galvin Pamazano.
Well, it's going to set up 3rd down and medium. This is what Jesuit likes to do. They want to lean on you with that big offensive line and run that inside zone game and that inside gap game right there. They're going to try to out-muscle you up front.
And here's a little toss to the right side. And it is caught. That will move the chains, and that's a good catch by Benjamin Neff. Benjamin Neff, a sophomore.
Well, look at the nice stick route on the out route. And here's the throw by that sophomore, right? That's right on target. Sully Sullivan comes in with just 8 throws, 8 attempts, 158 yards, and 2 TDs. He's gotten a little bit of playing time because they've been up on the scoreboard against their opponents the past 3 weeks. But for the most part, Sully Sullivan is a guy that was taking all JV reps last year.
And Sully Sullivan has seen some action. Now, he came in here with 8 passes for 15 attempts for 158 yards. So he's not coming in cold for the season. Throws caught. That'll be good for a few as it's caught by Michael Cerruti, running back.
He was looking for LeRae downfield. He checks it down to Cerruti right there. No place to go. A lot of white jerseys getting out there. This Brother Martin defense is real good, right? These guys run well to the ball. They're well coached. Aaron Palladino, their defensive coordinator, does one fantastic job. Right now they're going to line up with a 8-man box, right? So that's kind of hard to run against at 2nd and long.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 after the no gain on that last play, and we've got a motion penalty against the Jesuit Blue Jays, going to move them back 5. Well, we've got to talk a little bit about Sully Sullivan. Again, Taylor Norton expected to start. It was a game-time decision, and he did not start. We told you get banged up a little bit in the E.D. White game, did not play last week. Jesuit thought he might be back this week. They waited till game time to make the decision, went with Sully Sullivan, the sophomore. And again, he has, coming in here, completed or thrown for 158 yards on 8 of 15 attempts, and he's got a couple tonight. So after the 5-yard penalty, 2nd down and 15, Sullivan has got good protection that time. He will loft it long down the left side and just over the head of the intended receiver, Roman Larray.
Double move, trying to get Larray on an out and up or hitch and go right here. See if you can see the route. There's a slant and go. Sluggo, that's what the double route was, or the double move was. He's wide open. That's where the sophomore just doesn't have the experience. Needed to put a little bit more air into that ball and let it drop into the lap. He had beaten the corner. Safety was slow getting over the top. Larray runs perfect route, right? Ball's just not on target. I like the aggressiveness. I like the idea at 2nd and long. Just can't play behind the sticks.
Well, now you see what happens. They're back at the 41 now because of that penalty. Put them behind the sticks. Lots of time. Good offensive line play by the Jesuit Blue Jays, and he throws this one away to the left side. So that'll bring up a 4th down and punting situation for the Jesuit Blue Jays, and you go back, and sometimes it's just one little mistake like that motion penalty that drives you way back behind the chains, and you can't come back from it.
Look, these two offenses, both of these coaches will tell you that they cannot play behind the chains, right? They depend too much on running the football, ball management, chain control, staying on schedule. These are all the buzzwords that you hear out of coaches, right? But they're all true. You can't be 2nd and 15 because of illegal procedure penalty.
So the Blue Jays are going to have to punt it away. Pretty good leg in that one. And it's picked up at the 16-yard line. And not much of a return, running out of bounds with it. So the Brother Martin defense does its job in forcing a punt. And the Crusaders will take over with 8 minutes and 31 seconds to play in this first quarter. We will have hydration breaks tonight at the 6-minute mark, the halfway mark of each quarter.
Yeah, you're still going to have them until the end of September. Not until you get into October where they do away with the hydration breaks. 2 weeks ago, we're calling in the dome, right? And they're having hydration breaks in the dome at 72 degrees. There you go.
So this starts at the 16-yard line of the Crusaders. Lots of time. Hudson Fields, and he hits his man again. He has been dropping him in on target, and what a throw and toss, that time to LeBlanc.
Rex LeBlanc runs the post route. Gets behind the corner, right there. Corner's looking up for the ball. He needs to keep running. He needs to keep looking, not back at the ball, Perry McKinley, but he needs to catch up to the defender and defend the receiver, right? The ball is going to keep moving. The receiver's going to keep moving. If you're looking back, you're not moving. Free safety didn't get across the top to make the play either.
And there's a good toss. And again, Hudson Fields is right on target, and that one is Dumanche. Brody Dumanche.
Fields is getting in rhythm, Kenny. That's what he's doing. He's getting in rhythm. And Mike LeBlanc, the offensive coordinator for Brother Martin is giving him his chances to get that engine purring, right? So when you can give your quarterback the chance to get all lathered up, right, you're going to do that, and he's getting lathered up right now.
Well, a 46-yard gain followed by an 18-yard gain, and Brother Martin knocking on the door. They're right on the corner of the red zone, right at the 20-yard line. He's got a man open on the left side, throws it complete to Rex LeBlanc. Again, LeBlanc's got it, and he's brought down inside the 15-yard line. 3 completions in a row.
That's RPO right there. Okay, so here what he does is he's checking his numbers. If he's got leverage out there with Rex LeBlanc on the defender, he's going to pull the ball and he's going to zip it out there onto the boundary. He's counting numbers. He's counting leverage. That's the way he's taught. So that's all RPO. He's pulling that ball out on the read of what he's getting from the guys in the blue jerseys. And nice play, nice pickup to set up a 2nd and short.
Well, they've thrown the ball 3 times in a row, and here comes that illegal procedure. Little motion. It's going to move him back 5 yards. That's the only thing that's been able to stop Brother Martin so far on these first 2 drives.
Well, here they are. They were looking at 2nd and 1 or less, right? Now they're looking at 2nd and medium to long, right? So that really puts a crimp in your play calling a little bit.
Now this time the handoff to Burton, Jeremiah Burton, with his first carry of the day, and he is right at the 20-yard line.
Great job by that Jesuit defense that time, running to the ball. They're in a 6-man front, right, or a 7-man front right there. Bo Mataluski is the first guy to get there. Mataluski was a free safety they brought down into the box to play linebacker. 6'1", 200-pound senior, played last season and the season before that. And the season before that, his freshman year at free safety. If it seems like we've been calling his name for a few years, we have. He's a fine football player, and he's doing a great job for them now inside the box as a linebacker.
Hey, he's a Nichols commit, and here's an interesting thing about Mataluski that you just talked about. Safety to middle linebacker, but how many times, Wade Kaiser, have you seen a kid who plays baseball and is a pitcher? And he makes the move. He's a good safety and a middle linebacker and a pitcher. Normally, you don't find the pitchers playing on the defense in those hard-hitting spots like linebacker or either free or strong safety.
Nolan Ryan was. And I bet you anything. Bo Mataluski on the mound will not hesitate from throwing high heat, high and tight. Right? Look, those are the guys that play with a little bit of edge.
Yeah, they do.
Right. So you got a guy standing out there on a mound with a baseball, and he's got some edge on him. I'm not digging in.
You're right.
Right? So this guy's going to come downhill as a safety. We have seen him play the past 3 years. We've seen him take reps as a freshman, right? This guy came downhill as a freshman and would light you up. He's doing it now at linebacker. Darrell Rule, the fine coordinator, defensive coordinator at Jesuit, realized that he had to get some help down into the box, so he takes one of the best players on defense and brings him down into the box, and it's been instant gratification for that Jesuit defense.
3rd down. Needs about 6. Throw over the middle, and he's going to get it. Easton Royal grabs it, and Easton Royal steps just in front of the sticks and then goes out of bounds. Did he get there? Hold up. He might not have got there.
It's going to be 3rd and short.
Out. It's going to be 4th and short.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and short. That's correct.
Yeah.
He's the underneath drag. Everything's covered deep, right? The field condenses down there inside the red zone, so those routes cannot separate as much because they'll run out of bounds. Obviously, there's less green grass. Who was the guy that was the drag underneath? The drag was Royal, and nice job by Hudson Fields, seeing everything's covered deep. What does he do? He just dumps it off, and here we go. It looks like Brother Martin might go ahead and either try to draw them off sides or go for this. Here we go. First big play of the football game.
They need 2. Hudson Fields is going to keep, and he's not going to get there. He's inside the 15, and the Jesuit defense stepped up and gets a big stop. How about that for the Blue Jay defense?
Jesuit jumps into a goal line front, a 6-man front. They do a great job on the penetration. I don't like the offensive call. If I'm 4th and short like that, I like my guys running downhill, right? I mean, that goes back to the whole idea of a quarterback sneak type of idea. Get that ball in my hands and go forward rather than sideways and try to pick up the short yardage that you need to be in. I would have liked to seen something a little bit more downhill by the Brother Martin offense. Credit Jesuit's defense right there, doing a great job on the penetration, stepping up, doing a good job, and it looked like Bo Mataluski was there to make the original hit again.
So the Blue Jays will start at their own 15-yard line. Sullivan showing a lot more smarts for a young quarterback than you would expect. He's showing some poise back there as he runs out of bounds with it that time.
Well, that was all Jesuit's offensive line. Jesuit's offensive line right here does a great job. You see a pancake right there. You see another pancake right there. And then nothing's open downfield. Credit to Brother Martin's secondary right there. Sully Sullivan was probably coached up all week. Just don't be haphazard with the ball. Don't just throw it away into their hands. Tuck that thing and run it if you can get green grass.
And he got about 3 that time, so good handoff and good fake, and it's straight ahead by the Blue Jays on this one. And once again, that's Gavin Palmisano, the running back. And now Jesuit's going to speed it up. They're going to go fast here on 3rd down, see if they can maybe catch Brother Martin's defense. Not in position, but everybody got set, and here you go, and they get the 1st down. So that's Palmisano on the carry again, and he just pounds it over the right side, brought down by a host of Brother Martin players, which included Gaines Randall. And they're not wasting any time. They're moving pretty quickly now. They're going to pick up the pace to play, but nothing open on the left side that time for the Blue Jays.
It's not out there, okay? He's got to make that cut right here. They've got the nice wall off right there by the tackle. He should have put that foot in the ground and got north and south. It is not out there. He runs right into the strong safety's arms, which was number 20, Gaines Randall. Gaines Randall does a nice job setting the edge, stepping up from his outside linebacker position, not allowing Palmisano to get any more yardage vertically. He needed to put his foot in the ground and get north and south. Can't play east and west on a north and south field, young man.
That's 3 straight runs by Palmisano, who is in motion and sets in the slot down to the left side. Let's see what they do right here on. And here we go. The coaches are sitting behind us, so you're going to hear some language every now and then, folks.
Well,
so don't let that shock you.
Yeah, well, you know. Been there, done that a little bit, right? You know, man. I retired 10 years ago. I've cleaned my act up, right? I don't think I've slipped on air, have I?
Well,
I mean, maybe a few years ago I slipped a little bit.
I do have the beep button right
there
here.
You go. It just comes as the natural tendency. It's going to bring up.
This is
4th and about 4.
4th and 4, and they're going to punt it. We have a flag down.
Well, they've called timeout. It looks like Brother Martin called timeout on this.
Brother Martin called timeout. Jesuit had picked up the pace, but wasn't able to convert and move the chains. So Brother Martin just kind of settled down, called timeout here, and get everything where they would like to get it.
Well, you know, you're looking at a couple of things here. Brother Martin has come out offensively and has tried to take the roof off the top of the defense of Jesuit, and they have connected. They have been successful, correct? Jesuit's doing what it normally likes to do. They like to deflate the air out of the game. They want to run the ball, run the little RPOs. That was an RPO that they just ran on their last play that they didn't convert on. And they're going to try to keep it in a low-scoring, hopefully a 1-score game where they're going to get a chance to sooner or later, you know, convert on a big play. And so we're seeing exactly what both offenses like to do here. And then, of course, 2 really good defenses on the field, guys. And you know, I'm a defensive guy, and I love to see the technique that I'm seeing out of these 2 defensive lines, the guys in the blue and the guys in the white. Very, very well-coached defensive lines.
You know, I want to talk a little bit about, when we get a second here, about Brother Martin going forward on 4th and 2, not going for the field goal. And I think that sort of makes a statement on how they feel their offense can operate in this game.
Well, you got to make a statement. You've got to exert some dominance, and I know exactly what Mark Bonice was thinking right there. That's what he was trying to do.
Michael Cerruti punts it for the Jesuit Blue Jays. And he'll give the Blue Jay defense some room to work with, but this has been a very strong offense that has moved up and down the field. They snagged in the red zone on 4th and 2 and turned it over on downs. Brother Martin did last time, but they have forced the Blue Jay, the Brother Martin defense has forced the Blue Jays offense into punts on their first 2 offensive possessions. So pretty good field position here for the Jesuit Blue Jays, even though they are backed up near their 30-yard line. They're on the 28-yard line of the Blue Jays. It's their third offensive possession of the first quarter. And with good little play action there, Pat's batted at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. So we've got to credit the Jesuit offensive and defensive lines. They are really doing what they have to do.
Right. Well, that's where it's going to be one tonight. It's going to be one in there, right? Mm-hmm. Those guys up front, offensively and defensively. I've already spoken about the defensive lines for both teams. These offensive lines are extremely well coached also, right? These guys are so technique sound. They're both got really good size. Brother Martin has tremendous size if you're looking at the guys in white, because those white jerseys make you look bigger, right? So it's going to be one in there for one of these teams.
That's Burton moving around to the backfield. He will then take the handoff, go straight ahead, and he runs right into the hands of, I believe that was Will Berry.
Yeah, Will Berry is a story in itself there, Ken. I mean, he's one of the smartest guys in this stadium here tonight, right?
And not only of those playing on the field, just anybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. One of the smartest guys in this out of all these thousands of people that are here tonight and playing on the field, right?
4.62 GPA and an ACT perfect score, 36.
Right. And then on top of that, he can flat play defensive line. He's a great technician with his hands, plays very low. He is going to be a Nichols commit.
Third down. He needed that pass right there to Easton Royal to get it. That's enough for the first down, and he'll go down to the 45-yard line.
I want everybody this time not to look at the route or the throw. Look at the offensive line play by Brother Martin. They're going to pick up a twist up front. Everybody look at that. Kind of came in real late. They had a nose tackle twist, and Will Berry got picked up by the offensive lineman from Brother Martin with a great job. I believe that was Benjamin Oquan picking him up. Oh, there it is right there. Great job, which allowed Hudson Field time to stand in there and throw that football and complete it to Easton Roll. Those are the things you need to be looking at tonight, folks. Look at the great line play out of the guys in blue on defense now and the guys in white on offense.
That was a 15-yard gain for the first down. Bobbled snap. He picks it up good, throws it, and wisely throws it away because the closest player to that was Rowan Lipscomb from Jacoby Trudeau from the Jesuit Blue Jays coming on hard. So when that had a chance, albeit a distant chance, of something bad happening right there for the offense and something good for the defense. That'll bring up second down and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, I want to check myself on that. I said Will Berry would probably be a Nichols commit. I don't think he's going to commit to Nichols. I think he's been offered by a number of Ivy League schools, and I think he is going to be a guy that's going to end up at one of those Ivy League schools.
There's the throw and toss it once again, Easton Royal. And boy, I lost track of the catches already on him, but that's probably the only stat I should have kept is Easton Royal.
Look at the technique up front. Great job by the guys in white. Just can't get any pressure up front right now. Jesuit talking about, and that's going to allow Royal just to sit down right there on the boundary, and the ball's delivered by Fields. On time, on place, right in his hands where it's supposed to be. But it's all starting up front with that offensive line.
Yeah, this is what makes Hudson Fields such a good quarterback, too. Look, again, 3 completions in a row, and he's going to drop back. This time everybody covered, so he's going to scramble to the near side, throw, and it is picked off, but out of bounds. Well, wait, no, the official said not out of bounds. It is an interception by the Jesuit Blue Jays, and what a pick by Jack McGuire.
Jack McGuire, great job getting his hands on it, keeping his feet in bounds. Official giving him the nod on the boundary right there. But let's go back to it. Everything's covered up. What we didn't see out of the receivers was great scramble drill. Right? You work a scramble drill when your quarterback gets in trouble and has to roll out and get his eyes downfield. He's looking for his color jersey, right? So you've got to run to spots. We saw a few receivers just stop and sit down. You can't just stop and sit. You got to run to spots and keep moving with the quarterback. Hudson Fields looking. He decided to try to just force it in there. Who's on the spot? Jack McGuire Jr., free safety. Nice job breaking on that ball for a pick.
And how efficient has been Hudson Fields. That's his first interception coming at the end of the first quarter in Game 4 of the season. That's how accurate he has been. Jesuit just using that big offensive line to open up holes and just letting Palmisano run up the middle on it. He gets a bunch, but is short of the first down. He'll have a little bit more to go. Let's credit that offensive line of Griffin Vorhagen, Oliver Cook, Alex Prechter at center, Hugo Rauch, and Ashton Millette on the right side.
Yeah, nice job on the inside zone there. The hit was made by Brother Martin's Grant Baglio, the son of Troy Baglio, my longtime defensive line coach, who is now the defensive line coach at Brother Martin.
Second down, and here the toss to Jair Burks. And Burks with some nifty moves. Again, Burks, he's a state champion hurdler. He can move, he can hurdle, he can jump, he can do it all, folks. When he touches the ball, this 5'10", 175 junior can make some wonderful things happen.
Well, he got the first down, I believe, and that's going to end the quarter. You can see how slippery he was, right? They get the ball out there real quick on the RPO with the wide receiver screen, and he cuts it back behind the blue jerseys. He makes a few white jerseys miss because he's cat quick, and they pick up the first down, and we'll be moving into the second quarter.
Now, tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports, the first quarter was brought to you by Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. Lamarck's pre-owned has a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models. We have great deals, says Ronnie Lamarck. Must be a reason. There always is. If it's Lamarck, and it's a good reason. So thank you, Lamarck Ford, Ronnie Lamarck, Timmy Lamarck, and Dennis Lamarck, and the entire Lamarck family, Ronnie Jr. Thank you for sponsoring the first quarter of tonight's game.
Well, look, we've seen a lot of things in the first quarter, right? We've seen some deep balls, and we've seen a lot of great offensive and defensive line play by both teams. This can only signal what we're going to see for the rest of this football game.
From the 48, here's a handoff. Jays will keep it on the ground, and that's going to Caden Sanderson. Wait a minute, take that back. Is that? That's Jair Burks. Pardon me, folks. That's Jair Burks coming from his end-around position, and he grabs it.
Well, they're trying to invent ways to get the ball in his hands by not just throwing it, right? So if you can hand the ball off to him on speed sweeps or end-arounds or reverses, just better for your offense, being a little bit more inventive, trying to use your guys and get them out in space.
From the 47-yard line, second and about 7. Sully Sullivan scrambling left side, and he'll go down close to the original line of scrimmage. So almost, let's see if they give him one on that. They may give him one, but if so, that'll bring up third down.
Well, we had a flag, and
was that a flag or it looked like a red towel that was thrown up in the air as we saw it. I didn't see the yellow flag. There it is.
Flag. They're going to move the ball back. They're going to call holding, it looks like. Did not get a number. It's going to bring up second down again, and it's going to be second and a taxi cab ride, right? So,
yeah, let's put it this way. They've got to get to the Brother Martin 47-yard line for a first down. Right now, the Blue Jays on their own 37-yard line. So Sullivan will throw it left side. It is picked off. It is intercepted. And Brady McCluskey with the interception, and he is down inside or very near the 30-yard line of the Jesuit Blue Jays. How about the 5'9", 177-pound junior Brady McCluskey being at the right spot at the right time? He's all over the field, Wade.
Right, well, the intended receiver was Burks right there, and that's the sophomore making a bad pass, right? He's off target. They're trying to hit Burks on a 14 back to 12-yard curl underneath the corner and the safety, right? And the ball's just poorly thrown. But again, you're going to get those type of mistakes with sophomores, starting in big ball games like this. And they got it, and it's going to set Brother Martin up in great field position deep inside Jesuit territory.
Yeah, big interception right there. And Brother Martin with the football. And, boy, we'll talk a little bit about Brady McCluskey. He is just one of defensive coordinator John Norris's absolute favorite players. And he said he reminds him, well, we'll get to that in just a moment, because here comes the play by the Brother Martin offense. Let's see, somebody call timeout?
Looks like we got a timeout, and it might be a Jesuit timeout.
Yeah, well, Brady McCluskey, and you don't see him right now, that's the offense coming off the field, but he's the one that got the interception. John Norris said he reminds me of Doug Plank, the old Chicago Bears guy from the 60s and 70s that just went around and lit people up all over the place.
I think he was number 46. Doug Plank. Wasn't he 46?
You know what? I'll have to look it up. He may have been with the Chicago Bears. But Norris says, I told him, you don't only remind me of Doug Plank, you even look like Doug Plank. You play like Doug Plank. You look like Doug Plank. So you got to love it. And guess what? Brady McCluskey comes up right here and gives him a big interception. So the Brother Martin offense is out on the field with some excellent field position with 10:56 to play here in the second quarter. All at the 26-yard line of the Blue Jays. And this one, a handoff. Jack Melanson on the run. Not much up the middle. Both of these offensive lines, as you had stated before, and defensive lines too, but the offensive lines have been opening some pretty good holes, but more importantly, been giving their quarterbacks great pass protection.
Yeah, well, you know, they're trying to be balanced, and what Brother Martin's going to do is they really love the RPO game, right? And they love to take a shot every now and then, which we've seen already. And right there, they ran outside zone to
and the same thing. Here we go, Melanson again. Melanson over the right side. He'll take it in all the way for the touchdown.
Yeah, well, there you go. You know, we're talking about trying to be balanced on offense. Look at Brother Martin right here. They run counter. There's the quick kick out. There's the seal. Huge hole. Even you could have ran through that, right? Jack Melanson bounces it right. Jack Melanson, all 6'1", 178, 6 foot, 178, bounces it out to the outside and just sprints down the boundary for the second score of the game. Great blocking up front. Great blocking on the counter. Nobody there. He had no linebacker fill and no safety fill in the hole. Off the linebacker.
Caden Flanagan in to attempt the point after, and he kicks it up and good. And with 10 minutes and 14 seconds to play here in the first half, the Brother Martin Crusaders have taken a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0 over the Jesuit Blue Jays. Crusaders had won 9 in a row until last year, and Jesuit came out and finally broke that 9-game winning streak and got a big win, big victory in this rivalry series. But boom, all of a sudden you're right back, and the Brother Martin Crusaders off to a good start in this one tonight to get back on the winning track if they can continue to hold and roll.
Yeah, well,
or is it roll and hold?
Right. Yeah, and you know, so if I'm not mistaken, this is the 60th meeting. Isn't that correct? Of Brother Martin and Jesuit, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. And it's close, right? You know, it's gone back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, Brother Martin, I believe, right now is
59th. This is the 60th
meeting. And I believe Brother Martin is up on that tally.
They lead 32-27 in
there
the
you
series.
Go. Look at my memory.
Close.
Look at my memory, right? So there you go. And here's the deal, right? I mean, you've got all type of rivalries in this Catholic League, right? For some of these kids, because they grow up playing against each other on the playgrounds. They went to the same elementary schools. They go to the same gyms and things. They date each other's sisters and stuff. So there's a lot of rivalry in the Catholic League. It just depends on which is your rivalry. Look at that hole.
Big hole. Jair Burks got the ball in his hands. He's been wanting it. The receivers are the main returners on this Jesuit Blue Jay team, too. And when they get the ball, you're looking at a state championship trackster and hurdler.
Well, look, he's proven, right? I mean, he's got some bona fide speed. And when there's a hole and he hits it, it's like running down that track, 110 meters over those hurdles. You know, 1, 2, 3, hurdle, 1, 2, 3, hurdle, 1, 2, 3, hurdle, yep. Right? And that's what he sees in front of him. He's a game changer.
So right at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays, who need some points on the board on this drive. Time is of the essence in this game. You don't want to fall way behind. This is going to be holding, possibly. That's what the coaches below us think as they run up the middle.
Well, we got a 5-man crew here tonight, right? And it's going to be hard for these officials to see a lot of things when you've been working on a 7-man crew. Mechanics are tougher, right? If you've been working nothing, I'll let our call come in. Personal foul, face mask. You know, so it's going to be harder to see some things. And, you know, a 5-man crew has to be a lot quicker. They've got to move a lot faster to get to the points where they need to be. You've got a back judge, you've got a white hat, and you've got 2 side judges, and you have an umpire in the center of the field. So you're going to, things wide open. There it was right there. You saw it. That was number 99. They got Cooper Ryan on the face mask.
This time they'll go back to Palmisano. He tries the middle, not much, but a little bit, and that was just a charging, another flag down, however. It was just a charging Crusader defense.
And getting back to the 5-man crew again, it just makes you hustle more as an official.
While they're marking off this penalty, go into the reason for a foul. Is there a shortage of officials,
there's a shortage all around the state of Louisiana. There's another face mask right there. They're going to mark off another 15 yards because it's personal foul. But getting back to what you were saying, Kenny, yes, there is a shortage around the state of Louisiana. All of the associations, officials associations, are dying to get young, new talent into their association, so that way when you have all these games on a Friday night, like right now tonight, 18 games in this New Orleans area, you can't get 6- and 7-man crews out there. Some schools either have to move their games to get that, or they're going to have to play short like they are tonight with 5.
So from the 22-yard line of the Brother Martin Crusaders, Palmisano tries the right side and gets some, but we have another flag down. So Jesuit had the advantage of 2 15-yard penalties, 30 extra yards. Let's see if this one goes for or against the Blue Jays. Jesuit walking backwards. So one of those 15-yard penalties is going to be nullified.
Yeah, right there. Looks like they got... It looks like they got number 60, Ashton Millette, on the hole right there on the edge. Big tackle, big right tackle for the Jays. But yeah, so I'll get off my soapbox here in a minute.
Say that
but what I want to do,
we want to recruit some officials.
I want to put a pitch into anybody out there listening. Hey, girls, guys, college students, anybody that wants to be involved in this game and you want to earn some money and have some fun while doing it with a great group of guys, go to your local officials association and get involved.
Way behind the chains on first down. They'll just run it straight ahead. It's first and forever, as you have said. That's Palmisano. Nothing.
Yeah, he runs into the sophomore Grant Baglia, who comes in with 14 tackles already on the season.
And by the way, that's the most for defensive linemen.
Right, and as I was saying, he is the son of Troy Baglio. So talking to Troy tonight on the field before the game, he says, man, I just wish I could get him to play lower. I said, be patient. He's a sophomore. You'll have him playing where he needs to be as he gets older. Right there, pretty darn good job by that young man making a great tackle.
Second down and about 20. Lots of time. Great protection by the offensive line. He's throwing long, and it is caught. Touchdown. That is Jair Burks, and he was all by himself.
All by himself, coming out there on the reel, sitting down right there on the boundary. Had to be a bust by Brother Martin. Brother Martin nowhere around him. Great job by Sully Sullivan, seeing him and throwing back to him. Look at him right there. Nobody around him. Let's just walk in there. I don't even have to run a hurdle to get into that end zone. White jerseys had to have a bust right there. Great route by Jair Burks. But, hey, how about that throw from that Sully Sullivan, the young sophomore, connecting for a touchdown here tonight.
So here's Ethan Cabos coming in to attempt this point after. First time we see him tonight.
That's huge for Jesuit coming right back, answering the last score.
We said they needed it.
Right, helped by a couple of penalties, a couple of face mask penalties, which moved the ball down the field. It doesn't matter how you get it as long as you get it into the end zone. But look, I tell you what, let's credit that young sophomore, Sully Sullivan, for scanning the field, looking back, finding out there on the boundary all by himself Jair Burks.
Boy, I'll tell you, and Burks just so wide open. Did you see anything on the replay that showed why he was that wide open?
Everything looked like it was rotating to one side of the field. I think there was a bust in coverage, and that left him just, like I said, standing all by himself like the Maytag repairman at about the 15-yard line. It was just a matter of getting him the ball, and that's what Sullivan did.
With a 32-yard touchdown, and that's a big one. As we said, the Blue Jays needed that one with 7:44 to play. They pull within a touchdown now of Brother Martin, and that just shifts the momentum, which is so important in a game like this, especially as you get close to the halfway point of this second quarter. So no sky kick this time. The Blue Jays are going to send it deep, and Brother Martin was expecting a sky kick. No one was really back deep. Rowan Lipscomb, the closest one to it, number 1 down there, backing up on it, but no chance to get it. So Brother Martin will take it, and they'll have the length of the field to go.
Well, as that Brother Martin offense comes out on the field, Fields in the first quarter is 7 of 10 for 163 yards and 1 TD. He had a nice first quarter, but obviously the guy he was targeting was Mr. Royal. 4 receptions, 97 yards, 1 TD in the first quarter.
Wow. Easton Royal, so much fun to watch. He is number 3. He's up at the top side of your screen. Keep an eye on him, folks. You'll see him play at the next level and then the next level after that. And then after that, he can do whatever he wants because he'll have enough money. It won't matter. 1st and 10 from the 20. Hudson Fields rolls to the right. He's got all day, and he'll throw it. Caught out of bounds, I believe, that time by Rex LeBlanc.
Everything covered up. Jesuit in 2 high coverage right there, doing a nice job, playing a nice cover 2, getting underneath all the low routes, making sure nothing blows off the top of their halves coverage that allows Hudson Fields just to have to hold on to the ball, and as everything tightens down over there in the boundary, he had to get rid of it, and that's exactly what he did. But that time he did not make a dumb throw. He basically threw the ball away to the only spot it could be, out of bounds, and come back and play another down for 2nd down. Smart player, Hudson Fields.
He really is. And
just can't force that ball in there. That's what happened to him last time on the turnover.
2nd down and 10. This time he keeps the little mix-up, and they've got him. Boy, what a rush and charge that time by Austin Guidry.
Austin Guidry does a nice job on the RPO. He stays home. Hudson pulls the ball. Look at him pull the ball. He's looking right there for the slant. He's looking at number 16, Rex LeBlanc, running the deep deep drag right there. He pulls the ball, but who thwarts the whole thing? Austin Guidry, 6'1", 220-pound sophomore.
Will Berry was right behind him. Will Berry, number 84, playing just to the left of the defensive right end, number 0, Austin Guidry. Watch those two. They're a force. 2 excellent players that can bust up an offensive line, but this Crusader line has done a good job against them. And this time, Fields scrambling, throwing against the grain and out of bounds. Incomplete.
Tide's kind of turned a little bit. Jesuits coming up with a little bit of twists up front, trying to put a little bit different look than just being vanilla on their front. And they are getting some pressure. Right there, you can see another power rush right there by Austin Guidry. Nice job using his hands, getting leverage, keeping the edge. He just needs to try to set the edge a little bit and don't let Hudson Fields get out on his right shoulder. But you can see great technique by that defensive lineman.
And 4th and 10 forces the punt.
Love to see those defensive linemen using their hands and getting leverage and doing all those type of good things that they're taught.
Good snap, no rush. Return is on for the Jesuit Blue Jays, and this one is going to get a great Brother Martin roll all the way to the 40-yard line of the Blue Jays.
You got to catch that. You got to get that hand up in the air, and you got to catch that because there's another 7 to 10 yards or more of hidden yardage, right? High punt right there. Everything's beaming down on you. LeRay's got to get that hand up. He sees he's pointing where the ball's going to be. He's trying to juke everybody out. He's got to get that hand up and catch that ball. There's a huge difference now on that hidden yardage from where it is finally down by Brother Martin.
What's interesting to see, too, is don't you feel the momentum in a way has shifted after that last Jesuit touchdown?
Well, it's shifted up front. As I said, that Jesuit defensive line is not giving them just vanilla looks anymore. They're giving them some twists and some things and allowing to get some pressure on Fields.
From the 40, a toss over to the right side. That is caught by LaRay. And that's a combination that can work along with Jair Burks, because you don't need a lot of receivers. You just need fast receivers with good hands for Sully Sullivan.
Well, yeah, and LeRay's got that. 2024, he had over 1,000 yards receiving, Kenny. So this guy knows how to run routes. He knows how to get into his route. He knows how to come out of the route. Then he knows how to catch the ball when it's there. I think this young man has a chance to play college football somewhere. It might not be the Alabama or the LSU, but if he wants to play somewhere, I think he has the skills to play at the next level. He is very well coached, and he's a good receiver.
Tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Ochsner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute. Don't let a sports injury keep you sidelined. Our team offers health care for athletes with same-day appointments available near you. Visit oxnard.org/sportsmed to learn more. And you don't have to be one of these athletes down on the field. You can just be the everyday athlete, the jogger out in City Park where we are tonight, City Park Tad Gormley Stadium. And, man, get over there if you've got an ache or pain. Make sure the good people at Ochsner Andrews takes care of you.
Dude, I got tons of aches and pains. Every morning I get up, I got another one.
Yeah, but from the well, that was a great line. I'm not going to say from the 50.
I mean, don't tell me you don't. Right? Every morning something's hurting.
Well, I didn't get hit as much as you got hit playing ball. See, I was willing to pitch the ball out.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Oh, man. No, we are at our age, we have a lot of aches and pains, and we go to Ochsner Andrews when we can. 47-yard line, gain of 3. It's 2nd down and 7 for the Jesuit Blue Jays now on the Brother Martin side of midfield. Sullivan, boy, the line has given him good protection. Not a big rush here. And he's going to throw it on the last minute. Does he have a man out there? No, just throws it away. And by the way, folks, again, if you were waiting and you're asking, who's Sully Sullivan? Where is the Blue Jays' Taylor Norton? Norton was a game-time decision as to whether he would play or not. A couple of weeks ago, he got dinged up in the Edie White game, missed last week, and they thought he might play tonight. It was a game-time decision, not playing. So the backup, Sully Sullivan, in there. Penalty was on
Jesuit with a hold that's going to take it back now, and it's going to make it an Uber ride on 2nd down. But let's credit the Brother Martin defense that time. They jumped into a 3-man front, all right? They dropped 8 into coverage. Everything's covered up with a 3-deep top, okay? Everything's covered up underneath. Nowhere for Sullivan to go, so he has to get out of there. He had time. There's only a 3-man rush, and he throws it away. Good defense. Very good offense by Sullivan, throwing that football away, not doing something dumb.
Sullivan this time looks like a seasoned pro back there, but overthrows, and wisely so, because double coverage that time on the intended receiver.
Yeah, Luca Cannizzaro. Luca Cannizzaro, free safety, gets across the top. We're not seeing anything exotic out of Brother Martin's secondary. Sitting in just a nice 3-deep coverage. Cannizzaro sitting right there in the center of the field doing a nice job, which is what a free safety is supposed to do, get across the top of the ball. He did that. Corner was nicely underneath of it. Great defense by this secondary. Ball overthrown by the young sophomore. Just couldn't fit it in.
At the 43, 3rd down and a long way to go. 3rd and a little bit more, about 16 on this. Long count. Sullivan, here comes a rush. Sullivan's going to take it right up the middle. Wanted to run, pulls it under, goes out of bounds, and it'll be 4th down and more than they want to deal with. 4th and about 13.
All right, there's one of those sophomore things right there. He sees pre-snap 3-man rush. He sees basically an umbrella 3 deep because it was 3rd in a decade, right? So he knows, he sees that. He knows what the play is called. He knows where his routes are. He pulls the ball down inside the run. He's got to keep his eyes up downfield because there were a couple receivers that got into the scramble drill and got open. Then he needs to dump that. He didn't see that. Get your eyes up, young man, when you're scrambling.
Michael Cerruti to punt it. And we've got flags down, so hold everything.
Well, another flag, right? 5-man crew, they're going to have to ice down at halftime.
Yeah, and again, we're going to keep talking about that 5-man crew.
Well,
and hopefully talk some people into saying, I want to become a high school official.
Look, there was a great story in today's, I can't remember the article and where it was, but it's about a daughter-son.
Yes. Officiating the game tonight.
We've got an illegal substitution of Brother Martin. He had 12 men on the field is what we had there. But getting back to the article, if you read it today about a father-daughter duo refereeing last night in a Riverdale game for the first time. The daughter picked it up in college at Alabama, just calling intramurals, and decided she wanted to start doing this, and her father coaxed her into doing it, and that was a great story. So there you go out there, people in college. This is something you can do.
Even with the penalty, it made it 4th down and 9, so Jesuit has to punt. Fair catch called for and made, and that's by Easton Royal.
That's the way you get your hand up in traffic and you catch the fair catch. You saw that? I mean, he is surrounded by blue jerseys. What does he do? He gets that hand up, buys himself room, catches the ball. Ball does not hit the ground and then continue to bounce and get that hidden yardage. Look, there's little things.
A 22-yard punt. But what do you want to do with a guy like Easton Royal? You want to keep the ball out of his hands. So kick it high, sky punt, sky
and
kick.
Cover the thing, right.
And cover it, and that's exactly what
Jesuit
did.
But Easton Royal is smart, very well coached. He gets his hand up and he makes sure he catches that ball. Look, there's little things that that get into my craw, and one of them is letting the ball hit the ground.
From the 23-yard line, 1st and 10, a little pass out to the right side. That is caught in a couple of nifty moves out there. And that is just a great gain by the Brother Martin Crusaders, Jack Melanson.
Yeah, look at the wide receiver screen. You might have been able to call holding out here on a Brother Martin receiver. That's a backward pass. There it is right there. His hand's all over the back. That could have easily been called a block in the back out there, but it wasn't thrown. So here we go. Brother Martin converts and looking at 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 43.
They're at the 43-yard line. Their own 43, the Crusaders of Brother Martin are. Hudson Fields with the fake, the toss, and just off the fingertips. Man, a lot of going on with that play, but it was intended for Brody DeMonche.
Yeah, they had Brody DeMonche lined up right there at the wide receiver, wide pop. He's trying to run the seam off the RPO. And the quarterback Fields sees it, reads it. It just was off target behind him a little bit, and DeMonche could not get his hands around to catch that football. Had he caught that football, it would have been a nice game. Different formation here. Look at the quads formation at the wide side of the field down here. Jesuit's got to get out here. So they're going to widen their inside linebackers out. Now they're going to play, you can see they got 4 over 4 out here.
Let's see if they try to come fast, and they do, and in trouble with it back there. And, boy, coming on hard, guess who? We've called his name, Austin Guidry.
Hey, this is a pretty good young player here. This sophomore right here is getting after it, right?
Look, when they saw the quads down at the bottom, you could see they went into a really hard rush, just a 4-man rush up at the top.
Right, well, they bring him off the edge. They overload the wide side of the field. Nobody gets a chance to get a hand on him. That really put number 71, Nicholas Bruno, in a bind. Who do I block here? Trying to get a hand on both guys. He just could not hold up. Guidry gets home. Guidry has had a couple nice plays already here tonight.
Back to the 31-yard line. That was about a 10-yard loss, but a little bit more than that. Third down now.
3rd and a millennial, right? So
yeah, third and take that Amtrak to Mobile.
There you go. We've got now tack on some more to it because we've got an illegal procedure on Brother Martin, so they're going to back it up 5 more.
My goodness. Now, sometimes there's one of these drives that just gets away from you. You just want to punt this ball.
Well, it's a game of momentum.
Out of here, because this is 3rd down.
Right, Kenny, it's a gain of momentum, right? So, Brother Martin comes out like wildfire, and their momentum is just, ripping everything up. Jesuit has had a couple of nice series defensively and had a nice series offensively to tack 7 on the board, so the momentum swings a little bit. That's what happens in these games. Yep. It's nip and tuck, nip and tuck, nip and tuck. The teams that can override and go through the other team's momentum are the ones that usually come out.
No screen to the right side. Hudson Fields hits his man, and they're just trying to get some of the yardage back, and they will get some of the yardage back from Jack Melanson.
Yeah, Jack Melanson right there sets the screen up nicely. Brother Martin does a nice job. They're just trying to get something to get back into the area code, right? They know they're not going to be able to get the sticks, so they're just trying to get back in the area code. So they dump the screen, very well executed, very well defended by Jesuit to make sure that they don't give up something cheap, so they can get back into the area code. And now it's going to force Brother Martin to punt.
Yeah, you got almost 20. It brings up 4th down and about 13. So the Crusaders get set to punt as we near the 2:05 mark. And there's the punt by the Crusaders. And let's see, where is that ball going to go out of bounds? At the 46-yard line. So not the way they mark it, that might only be in field position, about a 15-yard punt.
Yeah, well, it was a bad punt. It was a shank, right? It looked like he towed a 3-iron. Yeah. So it just shanks off his foot, and great job right there by LeRae petering the ball. You hear that word all the time. Everybody says, what does that mean? Well, it's an old football term that means get the heck away from the football. Yep. He had no chance to catch the football. He was pointing to it. Get his blue jerseys away from the football. Peter, get away. That's what that term means.
Now the Jesuit Blue Jays, can they take 1:57 seconds and tie this ball game up? They'll keep it on the ground on 1st down and get a 1st down out of it on 1st down. Nice running and charging up the field by the Jesuit running back, who is down.
Great job right there on the inside zone. He bends it all the way back to the B-back. I believe that's Palmisano that's down. Looks like maybe he is feeling his ankle got twisted or something. He got rolled up on. But, hey, nice job reading it all the way back to the BC gap on the inside zone right there. You get a wash away by the offensive line, just keeps washing those guys in white jerseys away. Palmisano gets the ball, and looking for the play side B cap. It isn't there, so I'm going to take it and wind it all the way back. It's there for a nice gain. Let's just hope that young man gets up off the turf.
Leading rusher for the Jesuit Blue Jays, Palmisano, with 154 yards coming into this game on 30 rushes and 4 touchdowns. And his presence is felt. Also, pretty good receiver when they need him.
Yeah, he's an all-purpose back, right? You hear that term, right? Catch the ball a little bit, run the ball a little bit. He isn't going to take the ball and go 100 in a flash, right? But what he's going to do is he's going to be a workhorse. He's going to be a guy at 6'1", 205 that is going to pound the ground for you and run behind those big offensive linemen and keep those chains moving. And that's what Vance Andre, the offensive coordinator, and Ryan Manali like to do with their running game, and he fits right into their style. We're talking about Gavin Palmisano. He did get up, and it looks like he's walking off on his own.
Look, just gave him 15 big yards to the 39-yard line in a game where we are seeing the momentum switch to the Jesuit Blue Jays. There's a little toss out to Jair Burks, and Burks out of bounds, which is good for Jesuit. That's the way they want to play it on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's going to bring up 2nd and manageable. You love these calls as an offensive coordinator.
I thought he got out of bounds, but maybe they said keep rolling because the clock continues to run.
Well, it's either a mistake by the official or the timekeeper or somebody, but the clock is running. But let's get back to the play again, and Palmisano did. That was Jair Burks catching the ball out there and setting up 2nd and short.
From the 33. 2nd down. And this time takes a hit that time by Trent King and goes out of bounds. But the clock continues to run.
Yeah, Tread King lit him up, okay, right there. That young man's got to get down or get out of bounds quicker, right? He's keeping his eyes downfield at this point, looking for a receiver. It's all covered up, but if you're going to tiptoe down that boundary like that, you are going to get lit up, and that's exactly what happened right there.
Okay, the clock kept running. They finally got it stopped at 44.
Well, yeah, I mean, it looked like 2 out-of-bound plays. It looked like they missed the first one. They didn't stop the clock,
They didn't stop the clock at all on the first out-of-bounds
and then they were late stopping the clock right there. Looked like we had a timeout, and that timeout looks like Jesuit took a timeout with 44 seconds left in the half.
As you said, a game of momentum. Football is just that. Brother Martin had all the momentum to the 14-0 lead, and then all of a sudden, boom, Jesuit comes down, gets that touchdown. Momentum shifted to the Blue Jays. Then it's kind of evened out. It leveled off between both teams, and the Blue Jays now with 44 seconds trying to do something that would be a big momentum shift for them going into the halftime locker room if they can get on the scoreboard.
Look, I've been in a lot of Brother Martin Jesuit games, right?
Yes, you have.
and player, coach, and assistant coach. It was always about weathering the momentum and staying the course.
From the 30-yard line. Little run off to the right side. Jesuit might have to use their timeout, 36 seconds. They still have plenty of time. 36 is a lot to play with right here. They got 5 from the 30 to the 25.
That was Michael Cerruti that time, picking his way through, keeping his eyes up, looking right, looking left. You could see the footwork right there as he was trying to inch his way forward, and it looks like they did pick up the first down, and they did pick up the first down, and Jesuit uses its last timeout.
They should have stopped the clock on the first down, right? So they would have had a little bit of time.
Right. So they used the timeout. The clock should have stopped, and it does stop to move the chains on the first down. So
Jesuit has one timeout remaining. That's
right.
their second timeout. They have one timeout remaining. Brother Morton has 2 timeouts remaining in the half. Wait a minute, Jesuit has no timeouts remaining.
Yeah, Jesuit is out of timeouts. They just used it where they could have, the clock stopped with the chain movement, right? So they went ahead and called a timeout. So depending on the reason why they called it, should you have called it, should you have not have called it? A lot of people will judge that. Myself, I don't think you call that timeout right there. You let those chains get moved, and you save it, especially if you need to get your kicking team on the field for a field goal.
Hayes Medier and Benjamin Neff split to the right side. That's Jair Burks and LaRae up to the left side. He's looking to the right side. Ooh, nice hop, skip, and jump to get out of that. Would be tackle or sack behind the line. Throws. Is it complete? And it is a complete pass. He's out of bounds. It stops the clock with 26 seconds to go. Jesuit's going to go fast. Let's see if they just clock this one, which they do.
Okay, they clocked it right there. That was a nice boundary pass by a reception on the boundary by Medier. Nice job again by the sophomore getting out of there in the scramble, staying calm. He kept his eyes up downfield and found a blue jersey. Great scramble drill that time by the receivers. Brother Martin looks a little bit winded back there in their secondary, right? They're walking around with their hands on their hips and things like that. This might be right here with second down. Let's take a pop at that end zone right there. They used their last timeout, so they're going to have to take a couple of pops at the end zone, and then they got to hustle. Might have to clock the ball or get the ball out of bounds and get their kicking team on the field if they can't get in the end zone.
11-yard gain by Medier on that pass completion. Here comes pressure from the blind side, and he throws out there, and it's incomplete. Almost intercepted that time. Almost intercepted by Gaines Randall.
Gaines Randall, we've called his name a couple of times tonight. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 again. So you got to remember, you do not have a timeout in your pocket to get your kicking team on, right? You got to throw this into the end zone.
13 seconds is all we have left to play in the first half. A 1-touchdown lead for Brother Morton, 14-7 over the Jesuit Blue Jays, but the Blue Jays are driving. They are inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. 3rd down, but time is of the essence.
Kenny, and not a lot of time to scramble around here, and you can't take a sack.
That's it.
If you don't get it into the end zone, you better get that first down and stop the clock.
Sully Sullivan, the backup quarterback, throws it quick. It is dropped right at the 9-yard line. He trapped it. Benjamin Neff. That'll stop the clock with 10 seconds, and the field goal unit will trot out on the field.
Would have liked to seen something a little bit deeper, either at the sticks or into the end zone, if you know you're going to bring your field goal team out here at this particular point.
Well,
Take that shot.
Look at 4 defensive backs around just that one wide receiver.
Exactly. So here we go.
So this ball will be put down at the 21. This will be a 31-yard field goal for Ethan Cabos. This is easily within his range. He kicks it up, and it is good. 31-yard field goal for Ethan Cabos. And that makes the score, with 5 seconds to play in the first half, 14-10. Brother Martin's lead cut to 4.
Well, we saw a lot of things right there on that drive. Number one, you see how important timeouts are, and they also see how important you got to know in the game when you get your first downs and when the clock stops with the chains, right? And that's where the intensity gets ramped up in the last couple of seconds of a quarter. So we also have seen how important it is that you keep your eyes up downfield looking for receivers on scramble drills when you don't have a lot of time, because you got to get rid of that football. You just can't keep scrambling around because you're burning clock, right? And then the last thing we've seen is a nice young kicker from Jesuit come out there under pressure and boot that thing for a 31-yard third field goal. We're talking about Ethan Cabos, a senior, who is we've been calling his name for the past 2 or 3 years now for the Jesuit Blue Jays.
And look, he's, as you said, he's a senior. He is faced all kind of pressure as a kicker in his career. Nothing's going to bother him, and he just sent that one through.
Yeah. Well, he's coached well. Kurt Worling does a nice job with all the kickers, and
should be a pooch high sky kick or a pooch kick, and it's taken. Not much and nowhere to go by Jack Melanson. That'll run the clock out, and we have played one half of football in this great Brother Martin Jesuit rivalry, with the Brother Martin Crusaders taking the lead into the halftime locker room 14-10. The Crusaders jumped out 14-0, and the Blue Jays came back with 10 unanswered points, and they're doing it, the Blue Jays are, without their starting quarterback, Taylor Norton. Sully Sullivan, the sophomore backup, is in the game, and he did play a little bit as a freshman, and he's played this season.
He's holding his own. He's doing a nice job, and he's made a couple of sophomore mistakes. You got to be patient with young guys like that. This kid's going to have a great future as a quarterback at Jesuit. And he's going to make some mistakes. Yeah, he's going to make some mistakes, and then he's going to do some great things. So, have patience, and that's easy for me to sit up here and say that, but I've been down there on the field where I haven't had that patience, and, I get it, right? I understand exactly, what they're looking at as a coaching staff when you're, dealing with injuries and stuff like that, especially with young players.
Well, we look at the way this one started out, Wade, and right off the bat, boom, Brother Martin takes the opening kickoff, and they start from their 40-yard line, one play, 60 yards, and it didn't take Hudson Fields, the brother of former Rummel quarterback and UL quarterback Chandler Fields. Didn't take him long. He throws to Easton Royal, who breaks a tackle and trots 60 yards. And 9 seconds into the game, Brother Martin had a 7-0 lead. It was that quick, and then Jesuit was forced their next couple of I think that the second series said a lot in this game, because Jesuit was forced to punt. A couple of penalties really hurt them there, and they had to punt it away. And then Brother Martin drives down, and they are deep. They are inside the 10-yard line. They are deep in Brother Martin territory, or inside the 15. They go for it on 4th and 2. And I think in a way that said, we believe even if we don't make it, our offense is good enough that we can control it. And whether or not that played any factor in how the teams reacted after that, I don't know.
What it did is it gave Jesuit.
They didn't make it, by the way.
It gave Jesuit some confidence that they knew that they could stop the Brother Martin offense. And those things are important, and we'll see if later in the game when there's a situation like that again for Brother Martin, whether or not will that be an indicator of what went on back in that second series in the first quarter, right?
They forced Jesuit to punt again. They forced Jesuit to punt on their second possession, and then came back, and Brother Martin was driving through an interception, and that was huge. And then once the interception was done, they got it back, and Brother Martin, at that time, Jesuit got the ball back, returned the favor, I believe. There was another interception by the Blue Jays, right? Looking at some of my notes, got a little
there was an interception. Yeah. There was an interception by Jesuit in the second quarter.
That's right. So that kind of turned it over, and then once Brother Martin got the ball back by way of interception, they were able to drive down, and I believe it was about a 23-yard touchdown, and that was by the Crusaders to take a 14-0 lead. Jack Melanson wide open on the right side, and he just trotted in for the score. And it looked, at that point, it just looked like Brother Martin was going to own the Blue Jays. But Jesuit came back, shut out the Brother Martin offense the rest of the way in the first half, and the Blue Jays went down and got on the board, scored. Took them a little while to do it. They got the help of a couple of penalties, got them deep into territory, and then the Blue Jays were able to put it on the board with Jair Burks wide open. I mean, he was just all by himself on a good toss by Sully Sullivan, and I believe that was about a 22-yard toss, and that pulled the Blue Jays within a touchdown at 14-7, and then at the very last offensive possession, with time running out, less than 2 minutes on the clock, the Blue Jays drove down. Brother Martin's defense held, and Ethan Cabos came in and kicked a 31-yard field goal, and that's where we are right now at halftime, with the Brother Martin Crusaders leading 14-10 over the Jesuit Blue Jays.
Well, and I think the momentum, as we've said, has been up and down for both teams, and coming about midway through the second quarter, I think Jesuit picked up the momentum, especially on that defensive line, as they have been able to get to Hudson Fields a couple times, Austin Guidry a couple times getting home, and we've seen different things taking place with that Jesuit defense as far as twisting their fronts and bringing a blitz or two here or there, trying to confuse that offensive line and get to Fields. So that momentum has changed a little bit up front. I still believe what's going to happen in the second half, it's going to be one up front by the offensive or defensive lines by one of these teams. And this is a typical Brother Martin Jesuit game. It's close. It's hard fought. It's back and forth. And as I said, you've got to be able to weather the storms of the momentum changes, and that will be the team that will come out on top.
Don't forget that next Friday night on Crescent City Sports, Wade and I will be right back here at Tad Gormley for the 104th consecutive year of Jesuit Holy Cross. Our coverage begins at 7 with kickoff at 7:15. That's next Friday on Crescent City Sports. The Jesuit Holy Cross rivalry, 104 years old. And what's still impressive, folks, and if you're not from this area, you're not going to understand this, is that after Katrina, this is the 5th oldest consecutively played rivalry in the nation, in the United States of America, and it was in danger of not being played. And Hurricane Katrina hit on August 29th, 2005. And somehow both schools got together with the head coaches, with the principals, and the headmasters at the time, and they got that game played in 2005. It was a very special game. Barry Wilson was coaching the Holy Cross Tigers. Vic Umont was coaching the Jesuit Blue Jays. And it just took those two and the administrations of both schools to make it happen, to keep it going. And it's a wonderful thing that we get to call next week the 104th meeting of these two schools. And as you think about that, what memories does that bring back for you?
Oh, jeez. PTSD.
Well,
I mean,
and look, there could be 1,000, but if you had to pick one or two, a memory
right.
that stays with you from a game like that.
I was a head coach at Brother Martin at the time, and Brother Martin, like many of the other schools in the city, took on a ton of water, and we were out of school and satelliting school up in Baton Rouge at Catholic High. Yeah. And I was
in
down.
Baton Rouge, yeah.
Right. I was down in Homa, get my kids in down there, trying to put a house back together, try to get my football players rounded back up and see if I can get them to Catholic High in Baton Rouge. They are scattered all over the place. Finally got the call where we decided that we were going to put together a football team and try to play any type of pickup games that we could get, keep the Jesuit game, and play. We were dressing in the woods out at Highland Park, practicing in the mornings. We had kids from the band. We had kids from the ROTC. We had kids from Jesuit rugby that were on the team. These kids were just looking for something to do. I had maybe 5 of my 100-man football team originally there at Catholic High at the satellite school at nighttime.
Wow.
So what does it bring back to me? It brings back to me a lot of everybody has their own stories and their own pains, but what it brings back to me is a will to survive. And these kids wanted nothing more to do than survive and play. It didn't matter whether they were in the band, ROTC, rugby,
right.
Whatever they wanted to do. So we had 25 of us. We played a 3-game schedule. We beat De La Salle, had a great game with Jesuit the next week at Yenny on a Saturday morning, and a close game there. And then we played a little bowl game. The LHSAA allowed you to pick up an extra game of teams that were not going to the playoffs, and we picked up a bowl game at the time with it's on the West Bank. I can't remember the name. The school's no longer there. On Lapalco Boulevard, we picked up a game with those guys and had a great little bowl game. But what I told those kids from Brother Martin is they will forever be known as the team that kept Brother Martin football alive during a catastrophe and continued the program moving forward, even though we only played 3 games.
And
that's what I remember.
And look, that's the Catholic League, folks. And I started with that story. We're going to spend the rest of this half. We're going to try to get some numbers and some stats for you in just a second. But I also want to tell you that the Catholic League has been very special. We're going to start with this. Tonight is just the start of a 7-week gauntlet that will determine a champion in District 9-5A. Our Lenny Van Gilder takes us week by week through the Catholic League schedule.
So pre-district play is over. District 9-5A action gets underway tonight. 2 games, of course, already underway. Couple of rivalry games. The one you're watching here at Tad Gormley, along with the battle for the East Bank of Jefferson Parish, Archbishop Rummel and John Curtis meeting at the Shrine on Airline. 2 more games at Gormley tomorrow. It'll be Edna Carr against Holy Cross in the afternoon, and then Warren Easton against St. Augustine on Saturday night. Week 5 is, of course, headlined by the Friday night Jesuit Holy Cross rivalry matchup, the 104th consecutive year those 2 teams will meet right here at Tad Gormley. You'll, of course, also be able to watch it once again here on Crescent City Sports. The week begins on Thursday with Curtis and Easton here at Gormley, and in 2 other games on Friday night, it'll be Brother Martin and Rummel facing off at Joe Yenny, and that should be a dandy between St. Aug and Carr across the river at Morris Jeff. As you head on to week number 6 of the season and week 3 of district play, it starts with 2 games on Thursday. Brother Martin and Carr meeting on the West Bank, and Rummel and Easton here at Gormley. Those are Thursday games. And then on Friday, it will be St. Aug and Jesuit at the Shrine on Airline, while John Curtis and Holy Cross face off right here at Tad Gormley Stadium. Week 7 of the season, 2 games on Friday. Carr and Jesuit face off at the Shrine on Airline here at Gormley. It's Curtis and Brother Martin. Then on Saturday, 2 games. It will be Holy Cross and Easton, while Rummel will celebrate his homecoming on the traditional Saturday night slot at Joe Yenny against St. Augustine. In Week 10, 3 Friday games spread out across the area. It will be here at Gormley, Rummel, and Holy Cross, while at the Shrine on Airline, Curtis takes on Jesuit. At Morris Jeff, it will be Easton and Carr, and which should be a dandy here on Saturday between Brother Martin and St. Aug. As you get to Week 9 on the schedule, 2 more games here at Gormley. The week starts with 3 games in total on Friday, Jesuit and Rummel, Easton, Brother Martin, Curtis and Carr meeting at Morris Jeff, and then the Saturday game here, Holy Cross against St. Aug. Will we still have a district title in the balance when we get to Week 10? A year ago, it was still in the balance when Carr and Rummel faced off. This year, that meeting will be on Thursday night at the Shrine on Airline. The rest of the Week 10 schedule pits Warren Easton against Jesuit, Brother Martin against Holy Cross, St. Aug against John Curtis. Of course, whether it's tonight or next week or any week of the high school football season, you can keep up with all the scores on our high school football scoreboard at CrescentCitySports.com, brought to you by the All-State Sugar Bowl. Back up to you guys in the booth.
And we're back. Thank you very much, Lenny Van Gilder. Let's add a little bit to what we just saw. Before we give you some scores from the scoreboard, we'll show you this twice. We'll do it right now, and we'll do it again in the second half. But if we can pull this graphic up, this goes to show you how good this District 9 5A is, folks. Look at this right now. I mean, Ken Trahan did a great story on Crescent City Sports about this that you really should go back and read. In non-district play, everybody started 3-0 except Rummel, 2-1. So 22-1 in non-district play for District 9 5A, and the one was a Rummel 1-point loss at Lafayette Christian. So, I mean, that's a 1-point loss there. So that speaks well for it. And this is just the kind of football that's played in 9 5A. And you know, we look at scores. We can update people on the scores. Best scoreboard, by the way, on Crescent City Sports. But if you go to Crescent City Sports to check out the scoreboard, please pull up the Ken Trahan story on this year being one of the all-time best years for Crescent City, for District 9 5A, with the league being so strong. The Catholic League started in 1955, Wade, and in that time, St. Aloysius, one which became, after merging with Corrier-Zoo, became Brother Martin. St. Aloysius was the first league champion. There's no truth to the rumor that John Sirio had anything to do with that. Okay, so.
Well, he's listening right now.
But I had to pop one in for Sirio without, just to get him in there. But I'm sure he was at the game, whether he was in a diaper or not back then. I'm sure he was at the game.
Well, he's that's between you and Mr. Sirio. But I know right now he's listening in and he's watching and he's paying attention to scores all around the state. But I tell you what, he's also doing. He's getting ready for a big Tulane game tomorrow.
Yeah,
got some stats here. Let's talk about some of these stats from Brother Martin Field first. All right.
Yes.
Let's talk about Hudson Fields. Halftime, he is 9. All right, of 15. For 193 yards, 1 TD and 1 interception. Okay? We have seen how accurate he's been. He tried to force that one ball in, got that pick on the boundary, but he has already thrown for 193 yards tonight. Royal, the fine receiver, Easton Royal, 4 receptions, 97 yards, 1 TD. Their running back, their guy that kind of does it all for him, Jack Melanson, a senior, 2 rushes, 26 yards, and a TD. So, as a total, Brother Martin tonight has rushed the ball only for 29 yards. So let's credit that Jesuit defensive line and that Jesuit defensive front 7 for doing a great job against that Brother Martin running game. Now, on the other side, let's talk about Jesuit offensive statistics. That young sophomore filling in tonight for Tyler Norton is 7 of 15 for 70 yards, 1 TD, and 1 interception. So he's matching the turnover rate for Brother Martin and Hudson Fields. That 1 interception he threw was on a curl route trying to hit Jair Burks at a 14 back to 12-yard curl, and he just underthrows it and it gets picked. Bad sophomore decision. Sullivan has rushed the ball tonight 4 times for 10 yards. The workhorse for Jesuit, though, has been Gavin Palmazzano. 11 rushes, 51 yards behind that big offensive line. As a team, Jesuit has rushed this ball 16 times for 72 yards. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what Jesuit likes to do. They like to rush the football. They use the run, to set up the pass. Brother Martin, on the other hand, will use the RPO game. The RPO game to be able to either pass the ball, run the ball off of what they're getting from the Jesuit defense. So there you go, folks. Some stats already tonight on our game. Let's get to some scores. For all the scores that you want to see tonight, just go to Crescent City Sports. Go to their app or go to their website. Click on Louisiana High School Football Scoreboard, and they will have all the scores from around the state up to date. It's the largest selection out there for all of you high school football aficionados. Let's go through a couple of these already. Got a few Thursday night games here from last night.
Yeah, let's get those in. Absolutely.
Ruston, 49. Midland Legacy High School out of Texas, who has been making a few trips to Louisiana to play some Louisiana teams, 21. Franklinton, 41. Fountain Blue, 20. They're in district play on the North Shore. Hammond, 49. L.W. Higgins, 0. Captain Shreve, 59. Benton, 48. 2 good football teams there up there in the Shreveport area. How about this one? Acadiana, 61. New Iberia, 0. And Dutchtown, 13-7 over Prairieville. That's a tonight score. That's a second quarter score. Let's go to some tonight games. At halftime, Rain, 25. Como, 14. Sam Houston, 20. Sulphur, 7. St. Amant, 14. Scotlandville, 0. St. Paul's, 21. John F. Kennedy, 0. Woodlawn of Baton Rouge is in a tight one with West Feliciana, 0-0. Pineville, Leeville, 14 all. Neville, 16. St. Thomas More, nothing. I bet you that's a good football game. Ouachita Parish, 29. Port Gibson of Mississippi, 6. St. James, 46. Ponchatoula, 0. St. James just keeps rolling. Houghton, 21. Huntington, 14. Salmon and Liberty all tied up at 0-0. On the North Shore, Slidell, 13. Mandeville, 0. Down in the River Parishes, Thibodaux, 19. Central Lafourche, 6. How about on Chalmette? Chalmette, 11. Booker T. Washington, nothing. North Shore, 7. Covington, 7. East St. John is getting stepped on by Destrehan. Destrehan, 36. East St. John, 6. Hawnville, 24. Terrebonne, 35. Hawnville, 24. C.E. Bird, 17. John Eyre at nothing. Catholic of Baton Rouge, West Monroe. That's a hard hitter. 14 all at halftime. Evangel, 14. Airline, 28. How about this one? Another 9-5A football game. John Curtis, 14. Archbishop Rummel, 6 in the third quarter. So there you go. There's some. Oh, here we go. Tomorrow night, everybody's going to be tuned in, and I'm sure everybody will be listening to Holy Cross Car. That'll be a 2 p.m. kickoff. And then at 7 o'clock that night, St. Aug and Warren Easton. A couple of other 9-5A teams getting ready to play on Saturday. So there's a good look at some of the scores around the state. We're in a great one here tonight. 14-10, Brother Martin up on Jesuit.
Saturday games too. You move if you're willing to move to a Saturday and go up against the college level. You're going to get that full man officiating crew.
You're going to get you're going to get a 7-man crew because there's less games obviously on Saturday, and you're going to get it on a Thursday night. It's just that you've got so many games being played in the New Orleans area that is serviced by the New Orleans Officials Association that they can't get full crews out. As we've said here tonight, they've got a 5-man crew here at the Brother Martin Jesuit game. So I kind of did my soap opera and soapbox back in the first half. And again, pleading anybody out there that wants to really have a great time, work with kids, work with a great group of people, call your local Officials Association and get involved. They'll start you off on, freshman games, 8th grade games, games on the playground, and then they will teach you, and then they will guide you, and then they will move you up to the point where you will be calling varsity games like Jesuit Brother Martin. So there you go.
And you're needed. And look, it's besides doing something, if you're a sports fan you really like, nice way to earn some extra dollars.
Absolutely.
So it's not a freebie, folks. You own some you earn some extra dollars, and it's a good cause.
Jesuit
needed.
Jesuit won the toss and deferred, and they will be getting the ball here at halftime, so they get a chance to double up.
Yeah, and here's the understatement. I mean, we talk about momentum and all those kind of things, but we know what it means to take that second half kickoff and take it down the field, whether it's a long, slow, or whatever drive, and make something happen, especially when you just got that last field goal to pull within 4 points of Brother Martin. Let's see what they do here. So we are ready with second half action. And here we go. They're going to keep the ball away from the deep returners and just do that high stick and almost broke it. My goodness, there was a big opening right there as the Blue Jays surprisingly almost pulled one off. That was Zach Freelow.
Yeah, well, Alex Diaz was the guy that tripped him up by the shoestrings. I think Freelow had 6 all over his face as he saw everything open up. Let's take a look at it again. Well, maybe we're not going to get again, but I'll tell you what a great shoestring tackle, but also almost what a great 6-point return by Freelow. So what are we looking at coming out the second half? I think weathering the storm. Weathering the storm. That's what it's about for both of these teams. We'll see what adjustments they make offensively and defensively as we proceed here into the third quarter.
Instead of Palmisano, it's going to be Cerruti on the first carry this time.
Well, the first thing I see, Ken,
Michael Cerruti,
is Brother Martin has come out in an 8-man front. A lot of people up there, and you can see Cerruti cuts it back against the grain, but great play right there by, it looked like, number 52 from Brother Martin, which is Jacob Zavala.
Second down 10 for the Blue Jays at their own 40. And this time Cerruti again. He'll try to shoot to the outside, nowhere to go, and he's gang tackled.
You can't step out of that hole. You got to press that hole. That hole is that big right there. He needs to lower them pads, press that hole, get to the second level, and then that's where the pay dirt is. Look at this hole. Great job by the guys in blue. Stay in there, young man. Stay in there and press that hole.
Well, he gets it out to the 43-yard line, and that makes it 3rd down and 7. A lot of time. He'll chuck it long. It is caught. It is caught inside the 35-yard line, and a very pretty catch by Benjamin Neff.
Benjamin Neff wide open down the boundary. Great route, great delivery by the sophomore Sullivan. He had time by the offensive line, only a 3-man rush. You can see Neff coming into your picture in motion. He's going to line up down here wide and trips, and he's going to run the rail route down the boundary, and it's delivered nicely.
27-yard gain on that big pass reception. They'll try the middle. Nothing doing on first down as the defense stiffens up, and getting up from the bottom of the pile is big Hayden Patterson, the senior.
Pressing the tempo a little bit here. We're talking about Jesuit. I like how they come out. They're pressing the tempo. They're pressing the run, and then they go to try to blow the top off the secondary, and they get the big completion.
Second down after the gain of 2 from the 28. Sully Sullivan, again, just showing a lot of poise. He's got to do something with it. Coming on hard, and a big come in and tackle by Trent King, the senior linebacker.
Well, Trent King's job is to not allow the quarterback to get out on the edge and run. You would say, well, is that spy technique? What is that? No, that's just he's scraping from his linebacker position to keep contained. Here he comes. Nicely done. You can see him right here coming into your picture. Sullivan's got to get rid of that ball. He's got to feel the heat coming down on him. Again, a sophomore might hold on to that just a little bit longer, thinking that he can beat the pressure coming from Trent King. It didn't.
No, and it's a 9-yard loss, bringing up third down and about 18. So long way to go. They've got to get to the 30-yard line for a first down. And that time he dropped it. He passed it out to Cerruti, Michael Cerruti, the senior.
Brother Martin jumps into 2 high coverage. They're in cover 2 up top, so everything's deep. Still a 3-man rush, dropping 8. Just try to drop it out into the screen, right? He had some room with some blockers out in front of him, just couldn't find a handle on the football. So this drive is going to stall, right? So here we go. Momentum swing. All right.
No, you're right. And this, again, they're going to try the field goal.
They're going to try the field goal. Remember, if the ball goes into the end zone, it'll only come out to the 20.
So this is a 54-yard field goal being kicked from the 44-yard line. He sends it on its way, and I lost it that time in the night.
Well, it went into the end zone, so the ball's going to come out to the 20, right? So, whether you punt the ball or you kick the ball with the field goal, you're going to basically get the same result on what's happening. I mean, I don't mind giving the young man a chance to see if he can't pop that. He might have popped it once in practice. Let's give him a try out here and see if he can do it. Any way you look at it, the ball's going to do what? It's going to go into the end zone and come out to the 20-yard line.
So
then that's where Brother Martin will take over. And now, again, weather the storm. Answer. It's their turn to see if they can answer the momentum shift.
Yeah, and look, maybe another 10, 15 yards in, and you are in the range of Ethan Cabos. But that was just a little out the range. But again, a good play, like you said. What do you have to lose?
Yeah. Give him a shot. Give him a shot. Absolutely. I understand it.
Because, look, if the defense pulls one or two people out and sends them to play back, then you've got the fake.
No doubt.
And you can go to the fake and use that. So a good strategy there. So Brother Martin takes over, and as you said, they put the ball at the...
It looks like it's the 12-yard line. Must have been down, didn't get into the end zone.
Down and didn't get into the end zone.
Right.
So they started the 12-yard line. And they will just go out right side to Easton Royal. Royal tried to dance around, but nobody to hurdle or sidestep there.
Easton Royal needs a hold on that football. That thing popped out right at the end. He looked like he was down already. The guys in blue are ripping at it, trying to get it out. Great job out there by McKinley Perry, the young sophomore corner coming up to make the play. Watch him play off the block right here. Nicely done. He's getting held out there. He turns it back in, gets up off his tail, and gets in on the play. Nice job, young man, making a play and setting that edge for your secondary.
At a yard to the 13, second down, 9. And they're just going to try to push over on the left side forward, out past the 15-yard line, so they'll get a few but be still short. It's going to be third down. And just a few, third, and it looks like third down and about 1.
It's third and short, so right now that big offensive line. Last time they were in a short yardage situation like this, if you remember, they ran lead option. I'd like to see them go downhill on this play, talking about Brother Martin's offense.
There's the snap. Boy, they went right into a rugby scrum, just trying to push forward to the 20 to get the first down, and they got it.
Well, they got it. That's what I like to see. I like to see you run behind that big offensive line and run downhill. They ran a nice little duo package in there, got some double teams, got some movement on the guys in blue, knocked them off the ball, picked up a big first down to move the chains.
So Brother Martin looking like maybe they're just content with a slow clock-eating running game, or are they just lulling the Blue Jay defense into something here on first down? Sully Sullivan will toss. He's got a man, and that is on the far side. Rex LeBlanc.
RPO action off the option right there. He sees the slant out of Rex LeBlanc. I like the play design. Look at him run lead option right here. He's got a pitch back, but he sees the little slant, dumps the ball. A couple of missed tackles by the Blue Jays right there. That's got to get cleaned up for the first down for Brother Martin.
Got it out to the 40. At the 41-yard line. Here's your 1st and 10. But hold everything.
You got timeout, Brother Martin.
Things look like they just got a little out of sync right there.
I don't think they had the right personnel that they wanted on the field. So I think they want to call the timeout, get their personnel right.
Well, good time to do it as the Crusaders in the lead in this one, and gives us the opportunity to remind you that our third quarter is brought to you by Game On. Tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports. Third quarter brought to you by Game On Social Hub at 2421 Veterans in Kenner, with a full-service restaurant, arcade games, bowling, axe throwing, and laser tag. Game On has it all. They're open till midnight tonight, and on Monday nights at 6. Monday nights at 6, join Ken Trahan with a special guest for the Saints Hall of Fame show on 106.7 The Ticket, live from Game On Social Hub. This week's guest, Devery Henderson.
Oh, wow.
And, hey, we just talked to him last week at Bell Chase for the Saints game of the week, and what a great conversationist he is. So, folks, go out there, take some pictures with Devery and Ken, and get some autographs. That's Game On Social Hub. Can't miss it on Veterans. 6 p.m. Monday nights. Devery Henderson is Ken Trahan's guest this week. Left side pass completion at the 40-yard line. And Hudson Field just using the short passes and a slow clock-eating drive as he went to Rowan Lipscomb. And we've got a Jesuit player down, so let's see who this is.
He's taking what's being given to him, right? So
yes.
They're running nice little hitches. Ball gets out on time, pick up nice yardage. Problem is, Jesuit's missing tackles out there. They got to clean some of that up, so it's going to set up a 2nd and short here for the Crusaders, right? If you miss 1 or 2 tackles on those short packages, sooner or later, one of them is going to turn from a short package into a long package because you miss tackles. Got to get that cleaned up on the boundary.
Now, this is actually going to serve as an injury timeout and also the hydration break timeout. And, we really haven't talked about Hudson Fields, the quarterback for the Brother Martin Crusaders, and just how good he has been as a junior. Again, we said he's the younger brother of former Rummel quarterback and University of Louisiana quarterback, Lafayette, that is, Chandler Fields. Last year, had some playing time with Seth Dazette, who was the starter for the Brother Martin Crusaders. Did get through some passes, had 27 attempts last year, 12 for 27, 18 yards, but gained a lot of playing experience, ran the ball a little bit, understood what it was like to have to come in and be ready to lead an offense. And as a junior, he looks pretty polished, in my opinion.
Well, Mark Bonice, very good football coach, and Mark understood that he needed to get him what are called quality reps, not mop-up reps, and they did that with Hudson Fields last year.
Good fake, and then a toss with play action. He's got a man behind everybody, and what a catch by Brody Dumache.
Again, you said the key word, behind everybody, right? behind everybody. It looks like a nice little streak route or a skinny post, whatever you want to call the route, but he is on top of the coverage, and that is what can't happen. I think it's coming back, though, for a flag. But that's scary, right? Those are things that got to get cleaned up. That is scary. I think that's going to be nullified. The flag's coming back. Let's see what they call here if we haven't gotten the white hats preliminary call.
So this is gonna eliminate about a 40 or nullify about a 41-yard gain. Wow.
So they're going to bring it 10 yards, so it had to be some type of hold at that particular time in order to bring it back to second, and it looks like 8.
Yeah, they're bringing it back to the 38-yard line, so that's a 5-yard penalty, really, is what it was from the last line of scrimmage. Throw out to the right side, Jack Melanson, and he is out past the 45, and that was a big gain wiped out by the penalty.
Jack Melanson, another one of those all-purpose backs, right? He can catch the ball coming out of the backfield on the screen right there. He runs the ball downhill nicely for the Brother Martin offense. He fits well into what Mike LeBlanc and Mark Bonice want to do with their offense.
Got a first down on the 11-yard gain, so Brother Martin just continues with that.
That's a killer.
Slow drive
for Jesuit. That is a killer. You just got it backed up, and then they get the first down.
With a little momentum for Jesuit with that long pass play being nullified, and this is just nothing fancy right here, but Justin Morgan coming in off the bench and running out of the Wildcat. So Justin Morgan, the backup quarterback, he comes in and says, this is what I can do.
Yep, quarterback draw. Justin Morgan, little bit change up. It's kind of like you've been seeing fastballs all night, then all of a sudden here comes a slider, right? And that slider was Justin Morgan.
And here's Morgan again, and he'll throw the toss and over the shoulder, almost catch, and just drop incomplete out of bounds. But Justin Morgan has come off the bench, and this sophomore, 6 foot 178-pound sophomore, who comes in here with only that's his first incompletion on the year right there. He was 5 for 5 passing for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns early in this season, backing up Hudson Fields.
And I don't see anything wrong on the boundary with Hudson Fields. I think these are the quality reps that they're trying to get this young man as a backup, meaningful quality reps. Plus what he brings is the little leg speed with him.
Yeah, he can do that. That was good play action. He's got a man wide open to the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown by Easton Royal.
Well, we've seen this before, right? Let's take a look at Easton Royal.
Wait a minute, is this one coming back? There's a flag in the end zone, and they haven't moved the chains yet. Chains are still at the 38-yard line. This could wipe out a 38-yard touchdown pass if it's called back. Let's see. I don't know.
Easton Royal runs right down the center of the field in the seam, right? Gets on top of Freelou. You saw Zach Freelou there, number 4. Had unsportsmanlike conduct against Brother Martin, so it's going to be moved on the kickoff. But getting back to the play again, Easton Royal just takes the top off the secondary. You can't keep your feet in cement. You got to turn and run, right? You can't let these guys get on top of you. Give up the short, don't give up the long. That's exactly what Zachary Freelou did there. Got beat deep, allowed him to get his bubble broken and got on top, and it's another pitch and catch for Easton Royal. But this time it came from backup sophomore quarterback Justin Morgan.
Caden Flanagan with the point after, and that makes it an 11-play, 88-yard drive and the 38-yard touchdown pass for a 21-10 Brother Martin lead.
Well, that hurts. You know, Jesuit fighting tooth and nail, getting a couple of calls here, a couple of calls there, and you know they're hanging in there. They're keeping it close, and then all of a sudden your roof gets blown off by Easton Royal right now. Now, we know how good he is. We know how well he's being recruited around the country by hundreds of colleges, you know. So what do? you say, hey, this guy's not getting on top of me. He can catch the ball underneath me. He can do whatever he wants to do underneath me, and hopefully we can tackle the guy, right? But we just can't let him get on top.
John Norris, defensive coordinator, meeting with his defense right now, getting them fired up. And, he said we wanted to make some things happen defensively early in this year, as you would expect, offenses helping defenses out. But he said, we're getting into 9-5A. We don't want to have to expect or wait for anybody to help our defense out. We want to go out and make things happen because you need depth. You need to make things happen. You need quality reps, as you say. And that's what John Norris was looking for out of this defense. A guy that's been, I believe, Mark Bonice was saying he's got 60 years of assistant coaching experience. I think that Norris has been with him for almost 20. It's 19. Got a couple of coaches at 13.
Right, he's been with them for a number of years.
Yes.
You got to remember Mark Bonice has been at Brother Martin for a long time now. He is the old man of the Catholic League as far as the number of years coaching in the Catholic League, right? Everybody thinks it's John Curtis. It isn't John Curtis. John Curtis came into the Catholic League in 2014.
Big hole right there, and look out. Here come the Jesuit Blue Jays. This one, Jair Burks, showing why he's Jair Burks. He'll take it all the way back for the score. A kickoff return for a touchdown by Jair Burks and the Jesuit Blue Jays. Oh, my goodness. He pulls that one in at the 33-yard line.
He pulls that in. It's great blocking up front by everybody in blue, and then there he goes. There's your 110-meter, 200-meter hurdler champion right there for 5A. Look for Jesuit to go for 2 right here. That's what I would do.
Wow. 67-yard TD return unofficially by Jair Burks on the ensuing kickoff. And, because if you go for 2 here and make it, you put yourself within a field goal.
Yeah, you got to go for 2 here.
And if you're the Jesuit Blue Jays, you've got an excellent field goal kicker in Ethan Cabos.
We have a Brother Martin player down on the far boundary.
Oh, see him way over
Way over there at about the 2-yard line on the boundary.
This is on the far side of the field, the Jesuit Blue Jays side of the field. There, we've got it. And that was one of the last players, I would believe, tried to make a stop on Jair Burks.
Well, they're looking at his hamstring, knee area. So let's hope he's okay. But you saw the speed of Jair Burks right there, man. Like shot out of a cannon. Great blocking up front. Great special teams play for the Blue Jays right there. Getting a body on a body in order to spring Burks. That is, for Brother Martin, number 20. That's Gaines Randall getting up and moving. We've called his name a few times tonight.
We've called his name tonight a lot. Gaines
outside
Randall has
linebacker.
been all over the place. And it's good to see him walking off under his own power, and hopefully it was nothing more than a cramp or a little dinger.
Well, like I said, look for Jesuit going for 2 here. Got to think players, not plays, right? Got to get the hands. We haven't heard a lot tonight from Roman Laurie. This might be where he might get targeted on this 2-point.
Yeah, you see Mark
play.
Bonice at the bottom right hand of your screen walking off. That's what we're talking about. He is as you say, the eldest of the coaches. Been here a long time.
Yeah, well, when I say eldest, not as an age, but I'm talking about
27th year.
Tenured coaches in the
Brother
Catholic
Martin
League.
is head coach.
Correct.
So let's see if this 2-point conversion can click for the Jesuit Blue Jays and pull it within 3. Sullivan, here comes the rush. He will throw it, and it is incomplete.
He waited too long to throw the football.
Yeah.
The drag on the back of the end zone, the intended receiver, you'll see him coming through on the back side back there on the little switch routes underneath. He's wide open right now. You can't see him. The intended receiver was
Benjamin Neff.
Right. Well, it was thrown to Neff, but he was looking at Medier. Medier was running along the back line. He needed to get rid of the ball a little bit sooner. That's one of those sophomore mistakes, just holding on to it a little bit too long. That will get better and better as he continues to get reps.
Wow. Well, folks, this is 9-5A football. Explosive, great athletes. We're talking about two of them tonight in Easton Royal, who I have him down for 135 yards with 5 catches, and I may have missed one little reception in there somewhere that's unofficial. Touchdown in the second half, touchdown in the first half, couple of touchdowns tonight already. And that's just the way this Catholic League is. Again, I'm going to take this moment to promote Ken Trahan's great story on the strength of the Catholic League in District 9-5A. It's at CrescentCitySports.com. Hope you get a chance to read it. Wade, you were going to say?
Well, the momentum swing again, right?
Yeah,
was a kickoff, right? So you get one score, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get a kickoff. So here we go. Who weathers the storm? It's back and forth, back and forth. That looked like a little sky kick that kind of
went awry.
Yeah, it went awry. I like that word, went awry. I thought you put ham and cheese on that.
Yeah, well, they.
Yeah, I got you. You don't know what to say, do you?
Well, his brother Martin was looking at that when they were looking at a big ham and cheese. Said that it's just not working for that one. Okay,
it went awry. What, with ham and cheese or what? Right, there you go. You didn't know what to say. I caught you there, kid.
Well, here's the thing, though. Look at the great field position now by brother Martin.
That puts your defense in a bind, right?
Yes, it does.
Mean,
you're asking a lot.
You're asking a lot if you're going to miss the ball like that, and
I mean,
you're going to put your back against the wall right here in your own territory.
Look, brother Martin had gone to start this second half. I mean, their last drive, they went 88 yards in 11 plays, and it started at their own 12-yard line. You don't want to put them on your side, the 50, at the 46. And that's exactly where the Brother Martin Crusaders start. Let's see who's quarterbacking. This is Hudson Fields back in. He'll hand it off, straightaway run.
Yeah, a lot of bodies in there, especially led by Trent King.
Called his name a lot and probably will continue to do so.
Also, nice job in there by number 55 for Jesuit, Oliver Burgo.
So the Blue Jays looking at second down, the Crusaders, Brother Martin Crusaders looking at second down, about 7. They're at the 43-yard line. This drive started at the 46. Toss over the middle in traffic. What a throw and catch. That's enough for the first down. Pulled down by Melanson. How many times have we called his name tonight in critical situations?
Look, Brother Martin does a great job with their RPOs. There's another look at an RPO, right?
Oh, Melanson is slow to get up.
Yeah, if the slant, let me tell you what Hudson Fields was looking at there. As he was putting the ball in the basket, red basket, of the running back, he was looking to see whether or not Melanson had leverage on the slant route on the linebacker. He did see that Melanson did have the leverage, so he rips the ball out and throws the ball. Hence, run or pass option. Look, that puts a lot of pressure on a defense, right? Because that linebacker is coming up to take the run. There goes the slant right behind it. It's tough stuff. You're seeing it at all levels, high school all the way up to Sunday afternoons.
Now that big 18-yard gain by the young man who just got off the ground, Jack Melanson, very, very special. You know, he caught a little trick play Brother Martin will run. They'll just toss the ball back to Easton Royal, and he'll look like he's going to take off with it. And all of a sudden he stops and just chunks it downfield. And last time he did that, that resulted in a score. And it was Melanson on the receiving end of that little trick play.
Right.
Not a true trick play in
the
sense of trick plays like Fumble-Rooski or anything, but from the 25-yard line, first down, Brother Martin. And they're going to keep it on the ground. Why not? They're having success, but not on this play, not on first down. They may lose a half yard trying to go right up the middle, and that Jesuit defense stiffened. They're going to pull some people off the pile, including Will Berry.
Yeah, Berry's in there. Burgo's in there. Mataluski is in there. All doing a nice job getting a piece.
I love Oliver Burgo. By the way, his second sport is rugby.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to love a guy. If you're playing rugby, you're tough. That's football, folks, without pads or helmets.
Oh, love the little shift. You've seen that? They show
little
unbalanced
shift.
one way and they shift back over to the other side.
Second down and 11. Hand off. Ascani, first time he carries tonight. Luca Ascani.
Yeah, first time we've
sophomore.
seen Luca Ascani. He's a sophomore. That time, look at Jesuit. Cole Punicky comes up and makes a nice pop on Ascani. Right there, number 3. He's a senior defensive back, 5'9", 155 pound.
Third down.
Here comes the pop.
8.
Right, boom, right there.
Yeah. Third down, 8. Here we go. Timeout called. 1:29 to play third. No flag.
Jesuit lines up in the neutral zone.
Wow.
I mean, those are things that are killers. You're fighting your tail off on a drive. All of the things that you are trying to get your kids to do, they're fighting and fighting tooth and nail, and then somebody lines up in the neutral zone and gives them a free 5 yards and sets up a third and short.
Yeah. So it's going to move it down to the 18-yard line. Third down. Only 2. Probably about 2.5 to go. Let's see if he can get it. A keeper. Roll around the right side. Hudson Fields will run out of bounds. Did he get it? Let's see. Or is there another flag down? We're just listening to I don't see it. The coach is in front of us. Thought there was going to be a.
Looks like there is a flag down over in the boundary. It must be hidden. I think they might be calling a hold on. Oh, they're picking it up. They picked it up and waved it off. Could have called holding out here on a wide receiver on the option play. Could have not called it. I mean, it all depends on which perspective you're looking at, of course, right? But they talked about it. They picked it up, and they're moving on. And now it looked like Hudson Fields did get the first down before he got out of bounds.
So he does move the chains. He got out of bounds at the 15, needed to get just about to there, the 15 and a half, and he got there. So now it's Justin Morgan back in, and Morgan's the better running quarterback. Big hole for Morgan. Morgan scoots inside the 5-yard line for the Brother Martin Crusaders.
Saving tackle by Mataluski. Look up front. Look at the blocking. Just get a nice double team right there on the 3 technique, and he pops right up the middle on the quarterback draw. That's what he brings to the table. He brings his legs to the table. I can see why they like this young man as a change of pace quarterback.
Yeah, and look, only a sophomore. Justin Morgan gets an 11-yard gain to the 4-yard line, and you know what? Don't overlook the fact that Brother Martin eats a lot of clock here. They took this football at the 4:01 mark, and they're working it down almost to the end of the quarter. We're down to, as you see the clock ticking on your screen, 22, 21, 20. First and goal. And here is Fields on the keeper, and they got him just before he is able to break the plane. He's down to the 1-yard line.
Yeah, the read option, he's reading the last guy on the line of scrimmage. Everything looks like it's going inside off of a wham look, and he rips the ball out, and he tries the left edge of his offense, and he gets hammered up right at about the 1 or just inside the 1 as we move into the fourth quarter.
And at the end of 3, the Brother Martin Crusaders holding on to a 5-point lead, 21-16 over the Jesuit Blue Jays. Both teams undefeated in non-District 9 5A play. Who will start 9 5A play with a win? We'll find out as we start the fourth quarter in just a moment. And this gives us an opportunity to tell you that our fourth quarter is brought to you by Lamarck's Motor Company. Tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Lamarck Crescent City Ford, the Commercial Vehicle Center at 6121 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. That's right on the top. That's between the two S-curves. Folks, you can't miss it. Lamarck Crescent City Ford, we got a truck for that, says Ronnie.
Well, they got a truck for everything on that place. So you see the number of trucks they got out there on that lot?
I love that spot. You can't miss it. It's between the two S-curves. And
what's the biggest?
Makes you just want to pull in and start walking around and looking, doesn't it?
It's the biggest piece of property with automobiles on it I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it really is. Don't forget, next Friday night on Crescent City Sports, Wade and I will be right back here at Tad Gormley for the 104th consecutive year of Jesuit and Holy Cross. Our coverage begins at 7 with kickoff at 7:15 on Crescent City Sports. Here we go to start the fourth quarter, folks. Second and goal, right at the 1, going right up the middle. The push didn't get there. My goodness. Did they? Did he? Second effort got him in. Luca Ascani. Luca Ascani's second effort got him in.
They take it right up. They take it right up in the A gaps, running what is called duo. You get double teams right at the point of attack, and they're going to hammer you right inside that A gap. And that's what Luca Ascani does. He hammers it in, gets his shoulder pad level down. He gets twisted up, and on second effort, breaks the plane to put Brother Martin up 27-16.
And with the extra point, Caden Flanagan. And he just chumps this one through. It's good, 28-16. So here we are with 2 offensive possessions for Brother Martin. In this second half, they have scored touchdowns on both and lead 28-16. The Jesuit Blue Jays.
This thing's not over.
A 54-yard field goal on their first possession. The ball didn't quite make the end zone. Was down to the 12, and that's where Brother Martin had taken over in this second half to drive the 88 yards for the score. But the next time when they kicked off, they put it in the hands of, Mr. Give Me the Ball, Jair Burks, and he took it all the way for a score. 67-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Jair Burks. So let's see who gets it. It's kind of one of these things where you'd like to tell Jair Burks or Roman Larray, hey, you guys just roam around, and wherever they kick it, go get it.
Well, Roman Larray hasn't been targeted as much tonight as I think they need to try to get the ball at him a little bit, right?
He's been very quiet.
Yeah, Burks has taken the roof off a little bit, and they need to get Larray involved in this game somehow with the ball in his hands. But look, this thing's not over yet because Jesuit can get right back in this thing. They put together a nice drive right here. What they can't do is get behind the chains. That is their kryptonite. They cannot be behind the chains.
Expecting the high kick, and they get it. And the Blue Jays will bring it out. Returning for the Jesuit Blue Jays is Zach Freelow again.
Yeah, Freelow had a look at a kickoff return earlier in the game that he just got tripped up, right? I know what he's going to be looking back at this film back at around Thanksgiving, showing to all his buddies, saying, look, I had a touchdown on that. Look, I had a touchdown. I know you didn't. You just got tripped up, man. No, you didn't. But that's what's the exciting thing about high school football, right? These kids love it.
Now the Blue Jays will start from their own 34, and, here in the fourth quarter, you're trailing by a bunch now, so you've got to get this drive into the end zone. And a nice bounce off the tackle, and wow, what a nice run by the Blue Jays on this one. And we've got Manny Vanderway in there, and he carried that time. He's a sophomore quarterback who can run, or a running back. And he's got I like that bounce right there.
Well, you're going to see some more Wildcat out of him. He's going to give you a lot of different things. Look at this play.
So Burks running left, and he finally cuts it upfield and gets a few before being pushed out of bounds on second down and a lot.
Again, trying to get the ball into hands of Jair Burks any way you can. What do? You toss it to him on a reverse. Here we go. Try to get him out there in space, but look at the guys from Brother Martin, the white jerseys, especially number 9, Trent King. Boy, is he having a night. Trent King is a good football player.
3rd down, 7. Burks in motion. This is Vanderway again. He's going to run. He's got good feet. He can go on the left side. He's got the first down and has run out of bounds, and that's exactly what the Blue Jays needed right there to just lift the spirits of this team. They needed just Manny Vanderway coming in and making something happen, and he did with a big first down pickup right there.
Look, I don't know if he was ready to throw that football. I think he stood back there until he had grass and he took off, right? This kid's an athlete. You can tell right now he's a gamer and he's an athlete, and he likes to run that football.
Big 20-yard gain right there on first down. Vanderway's going to take it again. It's just Vanderway running. They're trying something different. And look at Vanderway go. My goodness. A couple of big gains by Vanderway.
Quarterback keeper, quarterback sweep. That's what it is. He's basically a wildcat guy back there. Look how athletic he is. Cut it. See a hole. Let's get north and south. I am not afraid to attack at Vanderway. There we go. Nice job.
A 20 and a 15. 35 yards by Vanderway. And watch this. Here, this time he hands it off. And pushing forward for a couple of yards down to the 25 for the Jesuit Blue Jays as they keep it on the ground. I think at that time was Cerruti.
Well, Cerruti. Yeah, Cerruti handling it off, hammering up the middle, and they're just trying to pick up whatever he can.
Probably just trying to give Vanderway a rest. Look at Cerruti this time. Big hole, and he is down near the 15-yard line. Cerruti.
Again on the carry, tackle made by number 44, Dominic Javier.
Jesuits picked up the pace a little bit. They're going faster now, too. 15-yard gain on that play. And here's Jair Burks taking it from the left side. Goes down immediately, but he'll get 4 more down to the 11-yard line.
Who's the spark here, Ken? The spark's number 12, Manny Vanderway.
Manny Vanderway.
Right, they try to bring in the reliever out of the bullpen, right? This is this guy that is your spark, right? He is athletic. He is daring. He is looking for any way that he can use his legs to attack this defense. They have Brother Martin a little bit on their heels right now.
Yeah, 2nd down and 7. This guy's got some speed, and he's throwing good. Look at the speed of Vanderway as he fights, but will be short of the first down, running to the left side. But he's giving something Brother Martin hasn't seen this game yet, in this game yet.
Right, it's a change of tempo. It's a change of a look. It's giving them something else that they have to defend a running quarterback, right? So there's, that's a quarterback sweep out to the left right there. They're using zone blocking up front. They're getting him out on the edge. Here we go.
10th play of the drive.
3rd and short.
10th play of the drive right here, folks. High snap. Vanderway pulls it down, hands it off anyway to Cerruti. Cerruti down almost. He is down near the 1-yard line.
Hey, this Jesuit offensive line right now is getting a little dominance up front, right? Didn't I say it is momentum tonight? Who has the momentum now? The guys in the blue. Great job up front. A couple pancake blocks by the guys in blue.
Got it down to the 2-yard line. So now it's 1st and goal at the 2. Not going anywhere on that one. Well, maybe 1. So now make it 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. 12th play of this drive coming up right here, folks. The Jesuit Blue Jays know they have to push it in right here to stay competitive in this game. Manny Vanderway, the 3rd quarterback in the lineup, and boom, hands it off in that time. Guess what? Who was waiting for that one? Jacques Earhart.
Jacques Earhart makes a big hit on the bend back. He was sitting there waiting for it. Cerruti was looking for the bend back right there. See him try to get back to the B-gap backside? He had been making a living there, but not that time, says Mr. Earhart.
Lost a yard back to the 2-yard line. 13th play of the drive now. Jesuit Blue Jays having to push this one across. Vanderway will throw it into the end zone toward the back corner of the end zone. Do they have it? Oh, we wait and we didn't see it. No call by the officials, so no, he did not get in there.
That is where the 5-man crew can hurt you.
Yes.
You cannot have the extra guy on the boundary to be able to see the feet. That is so close where if you had more than a 5-man crew, they might be able to see the feet in.
His foot's down. Does he have? His foot is down. Does he have possession?
That's the question, whether he had a possession or not.
That's a touchdown. I think he had a touchdown.
All right, here we go. Fourth. This right now at 7:29 could be the ball game for Jesuit at 4th and goal from the 2-yard line.
4th and goal, and I got to tell you, it looked to us like he had a foot down, had possession of the football, but they do not have replay cameras down there. Jesuit's got to get across right here on 4th down and goal from the 2. Vanderway around the left side. He'll cut. He'll dive. He's in there.
Yes!
Touchdown.
It's one.
He got in. The clock's still running, though. Why is the clock still running?
I have no idea.
The clock is still running. This clock is supposed to stop.
With the score, correct.
Yeah,
finally
with the score. All right, they did reset it to 7:22, so they did put the time back on the clock. Important extra point coming right here by Ethan Cabos, and he got it. 28-22, the Blue Jays. And that was all Manny Vanderway off the bench, folks. Number 3 quarterback, the sophomore with a spark. How about Manny Vanderway from 2 yards out? He had to go a lot longer than 2 yards for that score.
Well, it's the same quarterback sweep that they had come back to a couple times. I'm sure they have a package for this young man. They probably have a couple of passes for him. I know they have the quarterback sweep. They've got the couple quarterback draws off of him. So they probably have about a 6-play package for this young man that they just executed with. But the thing that he was the changeup coming in from the bullpen. He was the guy that came in and gave them a whole different look, and it made that Brother Martin defense have to defend another weapon. That weapon was Manny Vandenway's legs. Momentum, Kenny, momentum. It's just switched now. The guys in white have to answer. That's what makes this game in 9-5A so exciting. These games in the Catholic League.
You're not kidding. 66 yards in 4 minutes and 29 seconds. 14 plays. Taken at the 5-yard line. And the idea is you have to bring Easton Royal down, and finally they do. But Easton Royal gives Brother Martin a good return, taken on the 5-yard line. And again, the Jesuit defense now has to crank up because they cannot let Brother Martin eat the clock up. And Brother Martin has done such a great job of that. They have eaten up a lot of clock on time of possession in this game. Their the drives have been long. They're going to mark it down at the 33. So a 28-yard return by Easton Royal.
Okay, here we go. Again, the kryptonite for Brother Martin is being behind the chains and being off schedule. So we've seen them go 80 yards on drives, right? We've seen them do it. We know they can do it. That's what they've got to put together now with 7:12 left on the clock. What does Jesuit have to do? Jesuit has to get them behind the chains and has to force some sort of turnover on downs.
Hudson Fields with the long one downfield. Flag is thrown. This could be pass interference. Let's see. It was intended for Easton Royal, and Royal having some words with the defender.
Yeah, they're talking about where they're going to meet tonight after the game. They have a bite to eat. You got pass interference, which is going to be 15 yards from the previous spot, but it is not an automatic first down.
That was McKinley Perry covering, and listen, it's not easy to cover Easton Royal.
Yeah, well,
a sophomore trying to cover a junior who's one of the most sought-after players in the United States of America.
Kenny, you've been beat deep tonight by number 3 how many times? This guy comes running past me. What am I going to do? I'm going to grab a jersey.
Smart play.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's 15 yards up to the 48. I mean,
it's human nature.
Yes. Otherwise, it's a touchdown. So a very smart penalty there. Easton Royal right side, and he's out of bounds inside the 40-yard line.
Man, is he good, right? Great route.
Yeah.
Knows where to get with the sticks on the short part of the short throwing game. Knows how to get on top of you with his speed and his moves on the long part of the throwing game, or the deep part of your throwing game. Man, what a weapon. You can see why he's one of the best in the nation. And he's only a junior.
14-yard gain on that. Moves the chains. First down. That's Liscombe shifting down at the bottom of your screen. He's looking in that direction, going toward Lipscomb, overshoots Lipscomb, who was well covered by Coleman Punicky.
Well, I tell you what, and I'm going to tell you, you want to see a defensive back stack a deep route? That is what and how you do it, right?
It, huh?
Cole Punicky knew right
Yes.
there he had been probably reamed on the boundary a few times, making sure nobody gets on top of him. He made sure he stacked that route. Great job by Punicky.
Why is the clock running?
Again, this is third or fourth time tonight that they've had clock issues.
Oh, man, they need to reset the clock. This is not right. They got to stop this. They cost a lot of time. They reset it correctly last time.
This is about the fourth time tonight this has happened.
Yep. Well, we caught it a couple of times at the end of the first half.
Yeah, with a couple out-of-bounds plays.
Yeah, some out of bounds plays. They would kind of watch when they try to watch it. All right, so they've got to add some time back to the clock. Did they do it?
Yes, they did.
Okay, they added it back. So then from the 37-yard line, trying up the middle, nothing doing there. Jesuit defense has to hold for them to come back.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Remember, we do have a hydration break at the 6-minute mark. That's 35 seconds away.
That tackle that time by Adrian McSpadden. Hadn't called his name tonight. He's a junior linebacker, 5'8", 180 pounds. Got a lot of playing time last year as a sophomore.
Brother Martin may let this clock run down. It can run down before the play clock runs out, and they can take the hydration break time out and kill some clock if they choose to do so. Let's see if they will. Play clock's got 13 on it. There's 8 for the hydration break. No, they'll snap the ball anyway and throw it long. Overshot the intended receiver, thrown into triple coverage. The intended receiver was Brody DiManche.
But what you saw a blue jersey on top of a white jersey. Nothing with white on top of blue, which is what we've seen earlier tonight.
Yes.
You didn't see the top getting blown off of the coverage. So right there, that is a great hold. That is a great turnover on downs for the Jesuit defense. Momentum, again, is still in Jesuit's favor.
I'm really wondering why Brother Martin didn't just let the clock run down, take the time out, and talk about that play.
They're not. They don't have to stop it right at 6 minutes.
Oh, that's right.
They can let it roll. They're going to have to let the play go any way you looked at it.
You are absolutely getting it mixed up with the 2-minute roll in college and NFL. So they'll punt it, and it's going to be a shanked punt. And let's see where they mark this one out. It's going to be, looks like they're going to mark it at the 23-yard line. So in the long run, that's only going to be about a 14-yard punt.
All right, the question is, who comes out at quarterback?
Let's see. We know who it won't be. It won't be Taylor Norton, because if you've been waiting for him all night, he did not play. He was a kickoff time decision, game time decision, and the Jesuit decided to hold him. He was hobbled up a little bit, hurt a little bit in the E.D. White game, did not play last week, and it was a game time decision on him. But I've got to tell you, folks, backup Sully Sullivan and Manny Vanderway have been outstanding. Sullivan has moved them up and down the field. Manny Vanderway brings something even extra, more speed than Sully Sullivan's got. Sully Sullivan's 6'1", 220. Manny Vanderway's 5'11", 170. He's shorter, he's got more speed, he's a little bit faster, and he's just as accurate as Sully Sullivan and Taylor Norton. So this is going to be an interesting drive, and once again, with 6 minutes to play in this game, trailing by 5. It's not mandatory you put points on the board here, but let's put it this way. You don't want to back yourself into a hole.
Yeah.
So you want to get points on the board here.
You've got to get points every time you've touched the football. You can't give the ball back over, because that clock can be ran out by your opponent.
So from their own 23-yard line, it is Manny Vanderway with all the speed, with all the tricks. He's going to tuck it under and be pushed out of bounds near the original line of scrimmage.
Great job by Jacques Earhart that time, keeping contained on Vanderway as he was trying to get out the pockets to his left.
Haven't talked about him enough. He is such a stalwart. The linebackers for Brother Martin are really good. Alex Diaz, who was a running back and linebacker last year, doing nothing but playing linebacker for defensive coordinator John Norris. Trent King, Johnny Revels, and Jacques Earhart. You also have Dominic Javia and Chance Ross, who come in sometimes. So they move it. High snap, pulled down well, and the toss out, caught at the 30 and 31-yard line, just short of the first down, caught by Roman Lowry. He has not been targeted, as you say, a lot tonight, but that's a big catch. He delivers right there.
Well, puts them in third and short. It keeps them right where they want to be.
Third and one.
You got a lot of options here on the field for the Jesuit.
Got to make this first down on third down one. They're going to try it right up the middle. They get it. They get it, and it's nothing more than Michael Cerruti. Cerruti's got that and a lot more. Look at Cerruti go with an inside cut. Cerruti pulled down as he gets inside the 20-yard line of the Brother Martin Crusaders. Wow, how about that by Cerruti?
Look at the blocking up front. Great job, but look at that jump cut as he got to the second level right there to free himself down the boundary. Nice running by Cerruti. Great job by that Jesuit offensive line. Again, momentum still Jesuit favor.
And this time we've got Vanderway in again. Vanderway going to the left side. A 51-yard run that time by Michael Cerruti. 51 yards when the Jesuit Blue Jays needed it so very much. My goodness. How big was that? Remember, that was on third down and one. Way back at your own 32.
He popped it. Great job by the offensive line. As we said, they just ran RPO that time. A little slow getting the play in right now as that 45-second clock is winding down.
This time the handoff straight ahead. Palmisano, Gavin Palmisano, we haven't seen him in a while. He had gone out with some type of leg cramp or something, I believe. But he's back in there. He is number 20, folks. As good a baseball player as he is a football player.
So Jesuit now is going to go into 4-minute offensive mode, right? They don't want to score too fast if they score and give that ball back. But what they have to do is they have to still operate with a sense of urgency, right? Because they're behind on the clock.
Vanderway throws into the end zone, just off the mark, intended for Jair Burks.
Looking for Jair Burks in the back of the end zone, and he was double covered that time. I would double cover the guy too. There's no doubt about it. I would make sure I would know where number 2 is at this stage of the game, wherever he is.
Let's put it this way. If I had to cover either Jair Burks or Easton Royal, I'd be inviting people to come down from the stands and help out.
There you go. What we haven't seen right here on this drive as much of Vanderway's legs. Look for him to take off here in a minute.
And he's got the wide side of the field if he chooses to do so. Medier is split wide to the right. Hold up. Do we have a timeout?
Timeout Jesuit.
So timeout Jesuit. That is their first. Brother Martin has used one already. They have 2 remaining. So now each team for the final 3 minutes and 45 seconds of this game has 2 minutes remaining.
Well, they wanted to make sure that they had the right play called, number 1. Number 2, they wanted to make sure that they had the right personnel. Smart timeout at this particular time by the Jesuit staff.
So what are you talking about right here? What do you want to
dinner
send? What message do you want to send to these guys?
What message?
Let me ask it from a different standpoint. What's going on in the Brother Martin defensive huddle right now? What is John Norris, as defensive coordinator, telling his defense?
Well, what they're trying to do is make sure that they're trying to match the personnel that's going to come on the field for Jesuit. All night long, when Jesuit comes on with certain personnel, Brother Martin comes on with certain personnel. So they're looking right now upstairs from the press box to see what personnel is fixing to break that huddle. Then they're going to make sure that they match the right personnel. Then the next thing he tells them is once they got the personnel, they know what they want. Hey, This is where we let nobody behind us. You do not let anybody behind us. Know where number 2 is on the field. And then when you get a chance to tackle Vandenway, the quarterback, because he's going to run the football sooner or later on this drive, you better make sure you tackle him and get him down.
Jair Burks is standing next to Manny Vanderway at quarterback in the backfield. And here goes a man in motion. And he's going to roll to the right, throw to the right, and underthrown. It was intended for Roman Larray. There was some bumping. People are asking for a flag. I don't see one. Is there one? No. Brother Morton holds. No flag down. Take a look at it, Wade.
Well, they're a little handsy down there by both. Right? You see a little blue push. You see a little white push. Again, another official down there might be able to help you get that call either way, right? I think for most instances, it's a good no call because of what they can see from their vantage point, talking about the 2 officials. But you got a little handsy on both ends of the things. Huge, huge hold by Brother Martin.
So they turn it over on downs.
Jesuit
Brother Martin has 3 minutes and 40 seconds to kill.
Jesuit has 2 timeouts. Now, they got to think about using those timeouts to save time when they get the ball back, if they get a chance to hold them to a 3rd down, right? They've got to think about using a timeout to their advantage because they need enough time if they can force Brother Martin to punt.
So here's a quick little pass out to Easton Royal. He'll use the stiff arm, but too many blue jerseys around him, but somehow he escapes that and pushes out past the 20 near the 24-yard line. How about that extra effort by Easton Royal? My goodness.
Well, can you see what this guy brings to the table, right? He can make you miss. He can run past you. He can hit you and run at you and run over you, right? He brings a lot to the table. Missing the tackle out there was Zachary Freelou. Usually a pretty solid tackler. He kind of got his ankles broke, right? I mean, Easton Royal put a little move on him and ran right past him, and Freelou, all he could do was get a hand.
A 13-yard gain. Now everybody stacks in tight. And this is just a handoff straight ahead, nothing. Boom, ran into a cement wall and dropped on the play. Just nowhere to go that time for Luca Ascani.
Well, Brother Martin comes out in 12 personnel. They brought in Owen Carl at what they call the sniffer back, or up fullback, if that's what you want to call him. But he's going to be the lead blocker on the ISO play as he was trying to get up onto the linebacker. No place to go. Nice job by the Jesuit defense up front. Will Berry doing a nice job that time, again getting off the block and making a tackle.
3rd down. 3 after the lost yardage on that play when they had 1 to go. On second, thinking they could just jam that middle and use a high school version of the tush push maybe. But it didn't work. And they just ran into Will Berry, Austin Guidry, cement wall. So here we go on 3rd, and it's around the left side, the push, and I don't think he made it. And now you might have to call the timeout.
This is where Jesuit needs to call timeout. This is where Jesuit needs to use a timeout.
Short of the 1st. Clock still running, 2 minutes and 30. Clock still running at 2:25, but it's going to stop at 2. What? No, hold on, it is still running. Now,
you got a timeout.
Now timeout called.
Jesuit.
Timeout called by Jesuit.
A little too late. The minute they made that tackle, there should have been a timeout called. That would have probably saved them close to 8 to 10 seconds right there. Plus, you have an injured Blue Jay on the ground right there. So, huge stand by Jesuit right there, forcing the punt, right? Huge stand right there. They get the ball back, and they'll have probably – right there around 2 minutes, 23 seconds when they get the ball back, and it'll be their last shot at most likely getting a shot at the end zone.
But this is a typical Jesuit Brother Morton game, right? When you think it might be a blowout early because Brother Morton runs out to a 14-0 lead, Jesuit comes back and makes it 14-10 by halftime, and then here we go. We start the second half, and man, Brother Morton gets the ball first. They drive down, score. Looks like it's 28-10, and this one might be one going away. No, not so fast. Kickoff return for a touchdown by the Jesuit Blue Jays. They're right back in it. And here we are with 2:23 left to play. A 5-point lead by Brother Martin. And they now are looking at 4th and 2 and have to punt this ball away. You don't think they'd do anything silly? Okay.
No. You punt this football.
Spoken by a former head coach. You don't even think about anything silly.
Look. You got to put the football away. You got to have you have to have belief in your defense. We're talking about the Brother Martin defense. So you punt this ball. First thing you got to do is make sure your protection is correctly. You see this shield punt right here? You got to make sure you count right. You got to make sure you count your personnel right, and make sure you get a bump and a body on everything. And it starts with the snap. Here we go.
There it is. Big rush. He gets it off, but man, he rushed it, maybe got it off the top of the heel. It doesn't go very far, and Jesuit's going to get this ball in Brother Martin territory. Let's see where they walk it up, and they're going to have a great field position. It's going to be at the 44-yard line. The 44-yard line in Brother Martin territory with 2 minutes and 18 seconds to play.
If I'm Jesuit, I bring back Manny Vandenway, and I get his legs involved. I have one timeout. Get his legs involved in this series. Brother Martin, make sure you're matching your personnel properly. Make sure you do not let number 2 get on top of you, right? And then you must tackle. You must have the right fits. You must be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to be, and you got to tackle Vandenway.
Let's see if Manny Vanderway, the 5'11 sophomore, can really make something happen right here. Playing a lot taller than his statistics. He drops back. He's going to throw long. He's going forward. It is pulled down at the 6-yard line. My goodness, they get it done, and on the receiving end is Benjamin Neff.
That might be the biggest pass to date for Manny Vandenway.
And also the biggest catch in the career of Benjamin Neff. They're going fast. This time Vanderway will keep it. He's going around the left side inside the 5-yard line.
Got a flag over there. Vanderway pulls the ball in the zone read. He is hurt.
Oh my goodness. He has been the spark plug. 1:53, clock is stopped.
There's a good look at it again. Boy, I tell you what, he just gets it over the head of the defender, Luca Costanza.
How did Luca Costanza not get a hand on that ball?
Enough air under it, floated right across the top. At first look, it was going to be picked, right?
Yeah.
But it had just enough air to get over the top into the hands of Neff. Neff comes down with the catch of his life.
Oh, man. Neff has got to be thinking, show me the highlight reel. And I know he's not thinking of that right now, but later on, later in life, it'll be show me the highlight reel of this one, especially if Jesuit comes back. Remember, Jesuit is trailing by 5. Brother Martin is protecting a 5-point lead, 28-23. So you don't even need the PAT on this one if you can get into the end zone. Now, here's the question. If Jesuit scores quickly, Brother Martin's got a lot of time to drive back down and some big guns to be able to do it.
This is where Brother Martin's got to think also that if they can get it to a 3rd down, they use a timeout to try to leave some time left on that clock, right? It looks like Vanderway's getting up.
Brother Martin has 2 timeouts remaining.
But correct. So they've got to think about using their timeouts at the right opportune moment. I think Vanderway just got the snot hit out of him, right? And I think he's got some cobwebs going through his head right now. He's going to probably be off the field and in a concussion protocol.
Jesuit has 3 quarterbacks. Taylor Norton, again injured in the E.D. White game, did not play last week, was a game-time decision today, has not seen the field at all. He is the usual starter. He is the senior. He's been playing at the quarterback spot for the last 2 years. So Sully Sullivan comes in, does a yeoman's job. Sullivan just a little bit slower at 6'1", 220, was replaced by Manny Vanderway, another sophomore. And Manny Vanderway has led the big Jesuit comeback. Again, another sophomore. So let's see who is going to, well, it's got to be Sully Sullivan coming in. So that's where we are from the quarterback spot. If you are joining us late and you're saying, where is Taylor Norton? That's where he is at. Should be back next week.
So here we go. You're at the 2-yard line. You're 2nd and goal.
Sully Sullivan is in at quarterback. He is the backup to Taylor Norton, the 6'1" sophomore. He gets the snap. He'll hand off to Cerruti. Cerruti caught and dropped right there inside the 5-yard line.
And a huge tackle right there by Alex Diaz. We've talked about him tonight.
Oh,
Former
man.
running back, now linebacker. Comes up with a huge tackle right here. Great penetration by that Brother Martin defensive line. Third down.
Third down and goal for Brother Martin. Sullivan looks, throws, asking Roman Larray gets the flag. He was asking for it. And if so, that's going to be first and goal. Clock is still running. It finally stops at 1:13.
It's not an automatic first down.
Yeah, but they wasted some time on the clock. They're not going to do a reset again. And both teams need this. Jesuit needs the time on the clock, but if they score, Brother Martin needs the time on the clock.
All right, let's remember this will not be an automatic first down. It'll be half the distance to the goal line, replay the down.
You've got to take another look at the clock. There should be more time on it for both teams. The clock continued to run for a long time. I think the referee is going to come check the clock. No, he's not. He's just going to give us the yardage on it.
All right, there's the interference penalty up there. Kind of grabbing the jersey, real handsy. Great call over there by the official. The interference was on Caden Goodman.
So here it goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Jesuit. Pushing it through is Michael Cerruti. Michael Cerruti with the score. So Cerruti from 2 yards out.
They need to go for two.
Yeah, they need to go for two now. They've got a 1-point lead, 29-28. They need 2 to make it a 3-point lead to where a field goal would only tie it with 1:08 to play.
Huge run by Cerruti, just pounding it in. Great job again by that offensive line from Jesuit. They have taken over in the second half and kind of exacted their will on that Brother Martin defensive front.
Sullivan has Cerruti on the side of him again. Low snap picked up, pressure coming from the blind side. He has to throw it quickly into the end zone. No.
Intended receiver was Jair Burks, who was coming across on the drag route. And it was just kind of a lot of people in there, a lot of bodies just got bounced around all over the place. He didn't have a chance to come up with it. Huge drive by Jesuit to go ahead by 1 point. 1:08 left on the clock, 2 timeouts by Brother Martin. This is going to be real interesting. You've got an offense that is a little bit older, a little bit mature. Hudson Field has been in this position before, so it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it now with that 1:08 on the clock.
You know, sometimes, as people say, moments like this make a player like Easton Royal just even more popular and better and more famous than he could ever be. This is the type of moment he could live for.
Well, and let's look back at the last series defensively for Jesuit. They did a great job not letting a white jersey get on top of them to take the top off their coverage.
Exactly.
So that is a great job coaching by the secondary guys. Dan Devon, who coaches the secondary for Jesuit, one of my former players, and one of the guys that was on my staff. All right, by getting his guys to understand that we've got to be deeper than the deepest man, right? We've got to stay on top of the offensive receiver. Same thing goes now on this drive for Jesuit.
Ethan Cabos, the experienced senior kicker, kicks it, and it is jumped on quickly by Brother Martin, and that's Benjamin DeMonte. So that kills 5 seconds off the clock. So the Crusaders now have 1:03 to work with.
A lot of time on that clock, 2 timeouts.
Yep, long way to go now. So
a lot of time.
You're at the 33-yard line. This is where it all starts. 67 yards away.
Brother Martin's got a kicker, Caden Flanagan. Not sure of his distance this year. So they're going to be working to get into his range, of course.
So let's see what happens here. Beals throws, caught, and quickly out of bounds. Good by Rowan Lipscomb. Good move by him to get out of bounds and stop the clock with the 1:02.
It's about situational awareness for Brother Martin. They've got to know where they are in the field. They've got to know where the sticks are. They've got to know where to break their routes off. They've got to know when to get out of bounds. They got to understand the situation and the gravity of the timeouts, and the down and distance that they have on their hands.
So first down after that gain of 12 to the 45-yard line. Fields, he may run it himself here, looking to try to get out of bounds. If he does, no, now he'll toss it. Has a man thrown incomplete. Clock stops with 54 seconds.
Great job, I think, by Hudson Field not running that football. Had he ran that football, he would have taken more time off of that clock, right?
Good move.
And
good point.
Might have not gotten very many yards and would have been tackled inbounds, right? By knowing where the line of scrimmage is, pulling up behind the line of scrimmage, and dunking that ball downfield to a spot, he got a chance to stop the ball. Or stop the clock, should I say.
At the 45-yard line, Hudson Fields steps into the pocket. He is in trouble, and he darts it out real quick. Just a little toss to Jack Molossaw, who gets out of bounds and stops the clock with 47.
How about that situational awareness by Hudson Fields?
Yeah.
He is in the grasp.
Oh, man.
He is in the grasp. I think that was Nathan Hamrick or Will Berry that had him in the grasp. He's on his way down. He just dumps the ball out there to Molossaw. What great field awareness by this junior.
Because, look, if he don't, the clock's still running. That stopped the clock with 47. Third down and 7. Big third down and 7. He is going to throw. He's got, there it is, Easton Royal. Easton Royal breaking a tackle. Easton Royal across the 50. Easton Royal gets out of bounds, stopping the clock with 38 seconds to go.
He reverses his field and he makes 5 Jesuit Blue Jays miss right at about the 45-yard line. Boy, is he a talent.
Gets the first down, moves the chains.
Here's the
working
tunnel
the clock.
screen right here. Look at the tunnel screen. Look at him reverse his field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 guys miss him in blue.
And the 12 yards gives him a first down at the 42 of Jesuit now. That's Molossaw shifting over to the left side. He will throw past Molossaw, and it is pulled in by Lipscomb. Lipscomb breaks a tackle. Lipscomb cannot get out of bounds, though. Goes down around the 20, and the clock continues to run. There is a first down. They've got to move the chains. They stop the clock for that.
The clock will start the minute they get the chains set. They'll wind it.
Down to the 21, a 19-yard gain. A 19-yard gain that time, and a big one. Played by Lipscomb down to the 21-yard line. They are in field goal range. Anything inside the 30-yard line.
I don't think, do we have a distance on Flanagan?
We haven't seen Barrios at all. So I do not have a distance on Flanagan.
Or Barrios.
Barrios is good inside the 30.
Gotcha.
But we haven't seen him kick tonight. I don't believe.
So we've got a timeout. Brother Martin took one of their 2. Smart play right there. Didn't get out of bounds. They stopped the clock to move the chains. They winded immediately. Brother Martin didn't want that to take place, so they went ahead and took a timeout. Water their guys down. Make sure they got the right play called from upstairs. Mm-hmm. Make sure you're thinking players and not plays. So you make sure your personnel is right on the field.
Yes.
What Jesuit's doing right now, they're checking the personnel of what's coming in off of White. They want to make sure that they're going to match their personnel perfectly and get the call in to their defense, whether it's going to be some sort of coverage, some sort of stunt up front with some twists, some sort of blitz, something of that nature, to be communicated correctly amongst the 11 guys on the field.
Keep your eyes on number 3. You see him right there.
You got to know where Royal is.
Easton Royal.
You got to know where Royal is.
10.300 speed. He is that fast, folks. And he will be probably blazing toward the end zone. You've got to watch
Jesuit's
the clock.
in a 3-deep secondary. Look for some sort of blitz.
Each team has 1 timeout remaining. Keep an eye on this one. Royal is up at the top of your screen. No, he was at the bottom. He goes in motion toward the top. There's the toss to Royal. They've got him, and he loses yardage on the play back to the 27-yard line. They're going to stop the clock at 14 seconds and call a timeout.
Yeah, Brother Martin's going to have to stop the clock right there. They did run the blitz from the short side of the field right there with a little shift of their front. Nice call by the Jesuit defense. Ran option to the wide side of the field. They were in perfect position in order to make the play. You have no choice but to go ahead and use the timeout.
Yeah, 6.
Take a look at it right here. You can see him coming off the edge. Great responsibility by the guys in blue.
Yes.
You can see the outside linebacker went quarterback to pitch, went to the pitch, did a nice job tackling him in bounce. That's what you've got to do.
Loss of 6 yards on the play, 14 seconds, and second down coming up. You've got time to get this play in before you have to try for a field goal, but you've got to make sure that you either get out of bounds or you throw the ball away. You cannot be involved in any play where the clock runs, right, Wade?
No doubt about it.
Each team with 1 timeout remaining. Going to say that again.
At this point, no, Brother Martin is out. They used their last
timeout.
They
did. That was
so
the
what
last
they're going to
timeout.
have to do is they're going to have right. If they get tackled in bounds, they're going to have to get there and clock that ball immediately in order to be able to get their kicking team on. That ball, either that or they've got to get the ball out of bounds with some sort of out of bounds route right now.
Or you take a shot for the end zone. Just take the pass in the end zone.
Well, it all depends on whether or not this guy their kicker has Barrios or Flanagan has this distance in their leg.
That's true now because you're backing it up 7 more yards
so
and you're getting outside the 30.
They're going to tell you right now what the distance of the kicker is by this play.
Exactly. There's Royal down to the bottom of your screen with DiMachier all the way down on the side. Royal is number 3. Keep an eye on him. He's the sure-handed receiver. But in this case, Hudson Fields has gone the opposite way. He's gone to the right. Here comes the blitz, and he's just got to throw it away. He just had to toss it away. I don't think it was caught on the side. There was a receiver over there that got it, and that was Lipscomb, Rowan Lipscomb, down to 6 seconds. He was trying to get maybe another 5 yards or so, but so they are bringing in Maximo Barrios. He is their ace kicker. He is a junior, and he is usually pretty steady from inside the 30, but let's see if he can get this one here. Maximo Barrios. He will be attempting.
Oh, the old ice play. There we go.
You've got to ice him one time. From the 27-yard line, that would be a 37-yard field goal, folks. So,
well, look, having done that a few times, again, I want somebody to look up the statistics on icing kickers, right? I mean, whether if somebody could go back and do the research on that and give me some sort of statistic on does it really work or does it not work?
But let me say this. You'd have to also research to see what's the personality of the kicker. A kicker that it doesn't bother with ice water in his veins doesn't matter. Somebody who's got antsy-pantsy and all of a sudden, oh, my God, I got to think about this for another whole minute. Yeah, guess what? That does make a difference.
Hence the ice, right? I mean, I've been on both ends of it.
You got to throw it. So here's the thing. Brother Martin, up until last year, had 9 consecutive wins in this series, and Jesuit ended that streak last year. Brother Martin's trying to win 10 of the last 11 if they can make this field goal. If not, the Blue Jays will have won 2 in a row in this big series with the Brother Martin Crusaders. Maximo Barrios gets his leg into it. It is good. It just got through. It's good by Maximo Barrios. With 2 seconds left on the clock, the Brother Martin Crusaders have just taken a 31-29 2-point lead over the Jesuit Blue Jays. Oh my goodness. Look at the Brother Martin Crusader bench going absolutely wild.
Well, it was great snap, great hold. So there's a lot of things that go into that execution, right? It isn't just the kick of the kicker. You got to have the snap, you got to have the hold, you got to have the protection, and all that was perfect by Brother Martin, and the ball got over the crossbar. And there you go.
Folks,
It's just another great rivalry game, another great football game tonight. You had
I had to watch
ebbs
the
and
official.
flows.
I had to
Ebbs
watch
and
the
flows.
official because in the press box we watched that ball was looking like it was a dying quail, and somehow it got over the crossbar. Wow. My goodness.
Now 2 seconds left on the clock. The thing's not over, right? You still got to kick the ball off, and the ball's going to be live. So here we go. You got to have coverage by your kickoff team. You got to tackle the person with the ball, all right, and make sure that nothing slips out and behind you. What Jesuit has to do here is, I'm sure they've got some sort of, I don't know if you want to call it the lateral play, the throw it back and throw it around type of play, that sort of thing. If they have something like that up their sleeve to try to get something rolling here with your 2 seconds left on the clock.
Wow-E. That's all we can say, folks, is wow-E. What a finish to this one. And it could have gone either way. Neither one of these teams ever gave up, which you would not expect that anyway. But will we see something absolutely crazy on this, what I'm expecting to be a squib kick that's going to bounce around and give defenders time to get there? Let's see. Well, Maximo Barrios did that. Kickoff chores will be handled by Caden Flanagan. So he'll handle this kick, number 31 for the Brother Martin Crusaders. And here's your final 2 seconds of this ball game coming up. And there's your squibber. Clock starts now. And it's picked up by Jair Burks. They'll try the old lateral play and see if they can make something happen. Going all the way back, Jair.
No, you can't keep going.
Back.
You can't keep
going.
going.
The wrong way. You got to go.
You got to get it out of there
somewhere. But it could keep going. Who knows? Ooh, he got smacked as he dropped. Just tossed that ball, and that'll pick it up, and that'll do it. This game is over. A fun play to watch. Jesuit almost pulled off something special there. But the final on this one is going to be the Brother Martin Crusaders 31 and the Jesuit Blue Jays 29. Brother Martin remains undefeated 4-0, and the Jesuit Blue Jays, after winning their first 3 non-conference games, takes their first loss of the year and is now 3-1. 9-5A, 1-0, 0-1 for these two teams. But 31-29, wow, how special is that?
Well,
and by the way, look, your comments first.
You know, look, what a great start to a great weekend for District 9 5A football, right? You've had some great games here in the district tonight, and you're going to have some great ones tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. So, look, football fans, it's some of the best football around anywhere. Get out and get yourself a chance to see some high school football here in the New Orleans area, and definitely try to catch a 9-5A Catholic League football game.
Yeah, and, you know, in the series now, again, Brother Martin had won 9 in a row. Jesuit won last year, was trying to make it 2 in a row. They didn't. With the win, Brother Martin leads the series 33-27 as far as the series go. But again, the Catholic League is just so special. And what you saw tonight was just another great example out of it. Man, and how much fun was this? This was a fun game to be at, a fun game to call, fun game watching the coaches from both teams sitting below us.
It's always fun when we got the coaches in the press box up here with us, where we can see and hear the emotions out of these guys. They work so hard all week. They're so dedicated to their professions. I know I've worked with a lot of these guys. They were on my staff. I had the opportunity to work with these guys, and they care about their programs. They care about their profession, and they care about their kids. And it's so fun to see that. What a great football game here tonight to open up District 9 5A Catholic League football play.
Yeah, and let's say this. We saw Easton Royal be Easton Royal. We saw Hudson Fields of Brother Martin do such a great job with him. And on the defensive side of things there, we saw Alec Diaz. We saw Brady McCluskey do some wonderful things. On the Jesuit side of things, we did not get to see Taylor Norton. Their starting quarterback, the senior, is still out. Expected back next week. He was a game time decision today. thought he could go. Didn't work out that way. Sully Sullivan off the bench was spectacular, but Manny Vanderway, oh my goodness, Manny Vanderway came in, the sophomore, 5'11", 170. How great was Manny Vanderway for this Jesuit Blue Jay team? And he's kind of saying, Coach, I'm ready for a little bit more playing time. He said minimum playing time. He was 2 of 3 passes, two for 3 passing, 73 yards in the first 3 games, and 1 TD. Didn't even have any rushes, and tonight he ran like crazy and did a fantastic job. So, Wade, your final comments on this one before we close it out. How special was this game?
Again, great opening weekend for Catholic League football. It's just another Jesuit Brother Martin game coming down to the wire. Ebbs and flows, back and forth all night long. You got to see a guy come in from the bullpen, Manny Vanderway, to come in and spark his team. And what a great kick at the end to put Brother Martin on top, 31-29.
And in the big picture, the final score in this one, as Wade just told you, 31-29. We hope you enjoyed this one, folks, as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. We thank you for joining us tonight. Remember to catch up on all of tonight's action at CrescentCitySports.com and our prep scoreboard presented by the All-State Sugar Bowl. And don't forget, right now on 106.7, the Ticket, scoreboard updates and talks about all of the games around the state of Louisiana with Ken Trahan and his plethora of reporters around Louisiana. Next Friday night, join us. Wade and I will be right back here again with Matt and Chip Merritt as we do the Holy Cross Jesuit football game, the 104th meeting of the 5th oldest continuously played rival in the United States of America. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. So for tonight, for Wade Kaiser and our entire Crescent City Sports production team, I'm Ken Berthelot saying so long from Tad Gormley in City Park, New Orleans. Once again, our final score, Brother Martin 31, the Jesuit Blue Jays 29. From New Orleans, good night, everybody.